is 2:25 a.m. Couldn't properly sleep. Too awake now. I might as well read this. Plus, I heard it's good, so let's hope. I'm gonna turn up my volume for my mic just a little bit. Turn down the stream. Okay, cool. Now, the problem is, I don't really know what's a really good voice for Florence. She is a petite French firearm. So, I don't know specifically. What should I say? I'm just using my energy first. That music was bopping though. Honestly, I would rock that shit. Let's go ringtone or something. Go. Come on. Allons-y. Let's see. So, I'm gonna do heroic mode to see how bad it is. Because if it's just level 60, it shouldn't be that bad. But I'm not sure for the sake of narrative devices. I should keep it this way. We'll see. Because there seems to be a lot. I'm told there's like 2 hours, if not 3 hours worth of content. Let's begin. Okay. Sunlight, cheery music, sounds of an amusement park, and Commander, I've got you now. The voice is familiar, but I can't recall the speaker's name. Oh, what will I ever do with you? I guess I'll have to help you out with this specially concocted elixir. Oh, so filled with love. The sunlight flares more dazzling than before. Oh my, she lives. She's awake at last. Are you alright? A girl stares intently at me, syringe in hand. After realizing that I've come to my senses, the worried look on her face softens. Her eyes, once gaping in shock, are soon filled with warm mirth. Commander, do you remember who I am? Oh, from Progressive? A name comes to mind, but when I try to think back on who it might be attached to, all I see is a blurred mental image. That's right, I'm Florence. The girl calling herself Florence winks playfully at me after finishing. Her familiar face and the gentle yet heated smile look very inviting. Don't you think it's a bit of a waste to be sleeping by yourself on the ground after coming all the way to an amusement park? Well, it's not like I wanted to fall asleep here. How I ended up in this place is a mystery even to myself. As I try to recall my situation, I find that my thoughts are a blur, like I'm wading through a thick fog. If this were a game, my situation would be like a freshly made character dumped into unfamiliar settings or surroundings, while my self-perception is functioning normally. I know nothing about my identity and my surroundings. Meanwhile, this girl here seems to know me. So who's Florence? Huh? She narrows her eyes as she smiles, but she can't hide the confusion in them. After thinking a little more, I decide to share a little more with her. Do you know me very well? Also, Of the commander. I- is that me? In my murky memories, I do recall something about having once lived with many dolls. Hold on. There we go. I have to move my mic. Or, given the way you're speaking to me, does that mean we've worked together many times before? Oh my. You're serious, aren't you? Oh dearie me. Ma, don't tell me you've gotten so used to playing dumb around dolls that it's become a reflex? Judging by her reaction, she seems to be disappointed that I asked that question. The air seems to freeze up, and Florence steps forward, placing a hand on my forehead. Body temperature normal, pulse normal, all vital signs normal. Perfectly healthy, or at least your body is. Saying so, she cups my cheeks in her hands, bringing my face closer and closer to mine. I see. It can't be helped then. It is only when she presses her forehead to mine that I can see the heart-shaped pupils flashing in her eyes like a lighthouse. A quiet beep tells me she's collecting my body parameters. Considering how quickly and efficiently she's doing this, she must be a medical doll of some sort. I size her up. Apart from the syringe she's holding, Florence has various medical paraphernalia all over her, which reinforces my suspicions. Are you interested in this, Commander? She seems to have noticed how I'm staring at the syringe and smiles warmly at me. This is just a shot of ordinary glucose solution, you know. It's nothing more than an energy supplement. Florence uncaps the syringe and gulps down the contents of the liquid within, then licks her lips clean. While she seems a little forward, a proper medical doll would probably have a hard time doing any harm to a human being. With that in mind, she can be trusted for the time being. More importantly, she feels familiar. I realized at the moment I saw her. We knew each other, I'm sure of it, and judging by her reaction, it's very likely that she is, or at least she used to be, a friend of mine. Oh my, you have an interesting look on your face. Much as I'd like to punish you for forgetting me. An amnesiac commander, huh? That might open up more interesting ways for us to have fun. I suddenly want to rescind my evaluation of her trustworthiness. Oh well, it can't be helped then. I'll just have to introduce myself again for your sake. My name is Florence, and as you can see, I'm the manager of this amusement park. For the time being, of course. And right now, I'm your caring and reliable guide as you travel through it. A manager? This seems somewhat different from the impression I've formed of her in such a short time. Even though you're a medical doll? Medical dolls can do many things. She doesn't elaborate and returns to what she was saying earlier. As for calling you Commander, well, many people have called you that, but if you don't like that form of address, shall I call you something else? Like, dear customer, mistress, senpai, boss, or caretaker? But why do these titles sound more and more familiar? Or are you saying you prefer I call you darling? This doll that I've met less than 10 minutes ago flashes me a coquettish smile before sliding up to my ear and breathing into it with a hot, moist whisper. I reflectively take 2 steps back, drawing away from her. I'll pass. Just call me something normal like Commander. Alright then, if you say so, darling. She smiles playfully at me. Now then, since we've gotten you back up to speed, shall we begin our tour? Florence grabs my hand with a certainty that brooks no refusal and drags me toward the amusement park. Wait, a tour? Did you really only come here to sleep, Commander? Much as I'd like to give her a concrete answer, the insides of my head are still murky, and I still can't concretely state the reason why I came here. What I can be sure of is that it definitely was not just to play around. No matter how hard you think about it, you won't be able to leave, right? I can't leave? What does that mean? As for what it means, you'll find out in a bit. In any case, I'd recommend that you just relax and enjoy yourself for a bit. Who knows? Perhaps your real objective might be hidden in there somewhere. No. Florence doesn't bother waiting for a response and heads into the amusement park. Flower petals and ribbons suddenly appear in her wake. The sound of a lively music grows louder and louder. The colors grow more intense and seem to throb in my head, making me feel a little dizzy. All this seems to be the prelude of some bizarre and psychedelic joke. In any case, let me introduce you once more to Thriller Wonderland. Oh my fucking... Almost at the same time, a pair of eyelids appear holding colorful balloons. The sight of them standing in the middle of an amusement park is both absurd and creepy at the same time. A powerful sense of wrongness fills my mind. Things like that shouldn't exist in an amusement park, right? But they're clowns that create an atmosphere of festivity and joy. Aren't those perfectly normal? Clowns. Is that what these eyelids are? It's perfectly normal to have costume clowns and NPCs in an amusement park, Commander. Why don't you try taking them down and see what prizes you get? The sense of wrongness fades away into a blurb, like the rest of the thoughts in my head without Florence needing to convince me. It's as though I were dreaming. It's normal, you say? I mean, I guess it is. I instinctively reach for the gun at my waist, a Makarov. Oh, so that's what we have. It seems to have been by my side for ages, and it reminds me that even in my dreams, I'm no cattle to be led to the slaughter. And besides, it doesn't look like Florence is just going to stand idly and watch either. Alright, well, let's give it a shot then. Oh, interesting. It's somewhat new music. Okay, well, I am playing in heroic mode, so I'm gonna just step up my game a little bit. We got four units, so we'll probably... I'm gonna see how bad this gets. If this gets really bad, then we're gonna step up our game a little bit. Oh shit. Oh, it's because I get like a massive debuff at the beginning of my... Oh my god. This is hell. Oh god. Alright, well, I'm just gonna... Let's see what happens. Okay.
行动中，准备，请下令，把身后交给我吧。
I'm gonna do this in my own time. It's gonna take this long.
准备。
Let's see. I think that hair's gonna fuck me up though. I do no damage. Uh-oh. Ow. Okay. So what if I use... Oh shit. This stays on me? Oh, okay, so this is removed after dealing one instance of targeted attack. Consider a debuff cannot be cleansed. I'm retarded. Hold on. I can make this work. I don't know why I did that for. Didn't read. I'll make a little. I'll do.
明白。还在期待什么？为您服务。明白。
Wait, my vector might eat shit though. We'll have to see. Okay, here we go. Everyone's getting damage up. Lovely. Holy shit. She's alive. Okay.
为您服务。豪杰时刻。
Oh my god, wait, it reapplies? What? Okay, this is some horse shit.
听我指令。
I do like this gem move, but not for the stream. After this, I'm gonna swap off.
明白。了解。
Nice.
就是现在。是。就给我消失吧。收到。
Oh yeah, baby. Ah, shit. It's fine. We'll live. Oh, never mind. We are so dead.
为您服务。收到，下官。
Oh my god, Sharkery, are you gonna save the day?
明白。我来掩护。来啦来啦！乐意下。了解。
Should be fine, I think. Yeah, should be fine. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. I am feeling it. I am feeling this right now.
再清理一下。了解。
I should have grabbed Johnny. She does so many attacks. Very idiotic of me not to do that.
行动中。大家跳起来吧！就是现在。来啦来啦！
There you go.
准备。
Racy might eat shit. Hold on. What is his next attack? Let's just selects one target. I mean,
现在！可恶！为您服务。茶歇时刻，听我指令。行动中，我来掩护。耶！大家跳起来吧！
Okay, that's a kill right there.
明白。耶！耶！
They've only got some shit, bro. Okay, Racy should be fine. Yeah.
有些棘手。
Oh, and it took too long. I'm gonna save this for like when I actually feel like doing it. Hold on. It's not a bad challenge, but for the sake of time and for the sake of my energy, I can't do this right now. Eat my shit. I'm gonna skip all that. Alright. I'm not in the mood at the moment. I tried to go timestamp about that. Anyway.
是。耶！请吩咐。听我指令。就是现在！来啦
I probably would have finished the last one. Happy Florence Day. Happy Florence Day. I didn't even notice that that shit was gonna eat my ass. That was gonna kick my ass. Right. Anyway. You know what? Cheers. I do agree. I need some water after that. Alright. Alright. How did I voice Florence again? I was making her like super. Okay. I'll try my best. It's fucking late as shit. Well done, Commander. The clowns were so eager to meet you right after entering the amusement park. Surely they must have goodies on them. Oh, look, a gift from the clowns. A stamp book. What a marvelous stroke of luck, Commander. You should hold on to it. A stamp book? It's got Florence. It's got a clown, carousel, Ferris wheel. I don't know what that is. It's like a food stand? And then, of course, the actual place. I look at the stamp book in my hands. The cover shows the amusement park. When I open it, I see little blurbs about the various rides and attractions. There's also a blank grid for stamps with a translucent chibi depiction of Florence's face as a background. Huh, this amusement park. The sense of oddness wafts through my consciousness once again, but just like before, my befuddled mind ignores it. Is something wrong? I look past Florence and examine the amusement park again, but I don't see anything unusual. No, it's nothing. I'd like to ask though, what's the stamp book for? Commander, it's simple. For every ride and attraction you visit, you get a stamp. But not only do you get a reward for collecting each of the stamps, but if you get them all in sequence and complete the collection, you get a super special prize as well. A prize? Oh my! You hit on the important part right away. The full clear reward here is really appealing. In fact, a lot of people have come to this amusement park just for it. Did I come here for it too? And what might the reward be? It's anything you want from this amusement park. Anything? I look at the Ferris wheel at the distance. Leaving aside the point of taking something like that away, the sheer difficulty of bringing it with me would be enough to give pause to anybody. Yup, anything. Naturally, that includes the manager, namely me. Florence smirks, a hint of temptation in her smile. How about that? Did that catch your interest? Taking you is fundamentally the same as taking the Ferris wheel. Oh, Commander, do learn to read the room. Still, it's alright, even if you're not sold on the idea right now. You just have to come to work. You just have to work through your confusion over the course of your tour. Everything will be made clear. This all sounds like a scam. After all, I'm not even sure what I'm thinking, and the fog in my brain refuses to clear. A scam? But here, I'm the most trustworthy person that could ever be, Commander. Is there anyone else here? I look around. While this is supposed to be an amusement park, it looks strangely deserted. Of course there are. Our establishment is very popular. The crowd flooded in the moment our gates opened. But I must point out that once you start your tour, you can't back out halfway through. If you do, you'll be punished severely. Yeah, that really sounds like a scam. You can go in easily, but have a hard time coming out. Surely nothing ill can come of it. Still, no matter how much they try to forbid me from leaving, I can always walk out the front door. It's at this point that I realize the fancy gate through which I entered has suddenly vanished. In its place is a structure that seems out of place in an amusement park. Beyond it are high walls that stretch as far as the eye can see. Don't worry, it's fine. After all, you were extra lucky today and got a guide in the form of me, the manager. And we can traverse the whole amusement park together. Florence continues with her exaggeratedly enthusiastic spiel, like she hasn't noticed anything strange at all. Oh, so I am voicing her a little bit correctly. Okay. I was afraid that, like, my quote-unquote enthusiasm wasn't going to be enough for this 3 a.m. stream. There are far too many abnormal things going on, and after finding myself surrounded by so much wrongness, I decided to abandon my struggles and just accept it all. Look, I don't plan to hire a guide, but hiring me as a guide is free, you know. I might end up paying for it anyway. That's so mean, Commander. Visiting an amusement park by yourself is very lonely, you know. Have you considered that things might be completely different with me around? Florence wraps herself around my arm and flashes me a wicked grin. I'm sure a kind and harmless medical doll like myself could take care of any medical emergencies that might pop up. So you've gone from scamming to high-pressure sales tactics now? Also, I'm still the manager and have access to insider information and certain behind-the-scenes operations. Cheating could save you a lot of trouble in winning the grand prize. I vaguely remember hearing a line like this in one of those anti-scam videos somewhere. If you said less, I might trust you more. However, her response is engendering a sense of familiarity in me, and I can't deny the urge to trust her. In fact, I'm starting to get the vague sense that what I'm looking for is inextricably tied up with her. Still, if we traveled together... Decide, then. Florence cuts in excitedly before I can finish speaking. This amusement park is shrouded in a mystery, and it seemed the key to unraveling these mysteries is standing before me. What a refreshingly direct decision. Now then, our odyssey through Thriller Wonderland begins now.
相比胜利，大家平安无事更令我感到开心。
A massive steel structure looms silently before us. Its metal rails flow smoothly and aesthetically, incorporating steep drops, hard turns, and dizzying spirals, and even a 90-degree direct downward descent. It gleams with metallic sheen in the sunlight, resembling nothing so much as a tangle of barbed wire. Hold on, just making sure my shit's all working. Even the launch mechanism is designed to look like some vast, ferocious beast with its distinct and sharp angles. It's hard to imagine what kind of sound its engine will make. Ta-da! Commander, come look. This is our most exciting attraction, the Heartbeat Accelerator 9000. Granted, it looks quite impressive, but in the end, it's just a roller coaster. It looks like this is the first item on our itinerary. Florence drags me over to the ride entrance, where the patrons are gathered. So there really were other guests here. Strangely enough, despite not having seen any other patrons on the way here, there's over 10 people waiting in front of the ride. I told you, right? Well, we can't compare to Redacted Land or Redacted Bros World. It's not as though this amusement park is a ghost town. However, there seems to be a strange mood in the air, unlike the festive atmosphere I was expecting. In fact, judging from the looks on the guests' faces, this strangeness seems to have been going on for some time now. My attention is drawn to a girl's Shriek. When I look toward her, I see that her eyes are shrouded in a damp mist, and a frightened-looking woman is holding onto her collar. Esme, how many times have we gone on this ride now? This ought to be our first time here, right? What are you talking about? We only just came here. No, this definitely isn't our first time here. The frightened woman grows more afraid after that. Her grip tightens unconsciously, causing Esme to groan in pain as she starts having trouble breathing. Let go of me, I can't breathe. Right. This is only your second time on the roller coaster. She falls silent and lets go. Esme slowly slumps to the ground. But in the next moment, the frightened woman's eyes go wide again. But I've been on this ride countless times. It can't be. I can't be the only one who's realized this. Hey, Muriel, Pauline, you both noticed, right? She casts her eyes around helplessly like she's falling into water and clutches at the surrounding people like their life vests, shaking them hard and begging them for a satisfactory answer. I mean, surely it's no big deal if she's already ridden on the roller coaster before, right? If you enjoyed the ride, then going on it several more times surely wouldn't be an issue? Oh, yes, you've ridden it with me a number of times. After noticing me, the panicked woman immediately grabs me like she did with Esme. And you! But after seeing my face, she becomes even more frightened. No, you. Who are you? I've never seen you before. Oh, what a coincidence. I've never seen you before either. Not only have I never seen this woman before, I don't know anyone here apart from Florence. There isn't even a hint of vague familiarity like what I've got from her. I mean, this is our first time in the amusement park, right? In that case, not knowing and not having seen each other before would be perfectly reasonable. Although, I have no idea how you know my name, even though we clearly haven't met before. What? You don't know me? You don't know who I am? Should I know? I'm Mia. We've been on this roller coaster before. Do you really not remember? And that strange smiling old manager over there, she's been guiding us here over and over again. We're stuck here. Do you understand? Do you know that? Esme looks troubled. She clearly has no idea what Mia is talking about and looks at me in confusion. And I know all things about you. Hey, do you remember Esme? We used to work at my... Right. As the park manager, I'll take care of this. Before Mia can finish, Florence steps into the dispute like she's going to put an end to it. Calm down. This isn't a big deal, is it? Huh? But I kind of remember what Miss Mia was talking about. Really? Are you sure you're not being tricked by some stranger? Hey, don't listen to that doll. She's the biggest liar of them all. Esme, you were a doll engineer before, weren't you? Hurry up and think of a way to scrap her. Esme glances at Florence in a panic and then looks incredulously at herself. You mean me? Oh no, that won't do. Attacking the manager is against the rules, and you'll be punished for it. You two, think of something too. Pauline, the mission failed and it's your fault. It's all your fault. Mia turns, but just as she's about to rush toward another nearby woman, Florence blocks her path. Right. That's enough appetizers, don't you think? Once again, Florence interrupts Mia's hysterical outburst. Comically dressed Elids appear amidst an explosion of flower petals and ribbons surrounding Florence. The contrast of the threat they pose against her amusement makes the entire scene seem strangely surreal. It would be a shame if our guests who wanted a pulse-pounding experience couldn't board the Heartbeat Accelerator 9000 because of such antics. No. This is an amusement park, a place of joy, happiness, adventure, and never-ending miracles. So please, everyone, forget your unhappiness, board the ride, and get ready for an adventure. Her encouragement seems to have worked, and the majority of the guests begin slowly moving toward the roller coaster. The sole exception is Mia, who screams, "Again! I'm gonna have to ride it again! No! I don't want this! I don't want this! Hey, did you hear me? I'm done with this! I want off this ride!" The guests who have just boarded the roller coaster see Mia. They begin to hesitate again. It can't be helped, I guess. Florence sighs quietly, then quickly steps forward, physically blocking Mia before smiling brilliantly to all the other guests. Get out of... Florence immediately drowns out Mia's voice with her own. Don't worry, everyone. This is a must-see. Blink, and you'll miss it. And then she turns a full circle. When she finishes, Mia has vanished from behind her. Stupendous! Yeah. Exclaimed shouts fill the air, and many of the guests look behind Florence, but no matter how hard they try, they can't seem to find the missing Mia. Thank you. Now then, please prepare for an exhilarating experience. Florence bows and then boards the roller coaster as well. Florence? Upon hearing me call her name, she immediately turns to me with a smile on her face. Oh, Commander! What a coincidence. There just so happens to be an empty seat behind you, or beside you. A coincidence, my ass. You are the one who planned the seating arrangements, weren't you? Then I shall gladly avail myself of the seat next to you. You're riding this with us? You'll trust me more this way, won't you? She bends down and presses up against me, and then grabs a safety belt buckle by the side of my seat. Come. Let the careful Miss Manager do up your seatbelt for you. Where did Mia go? Suddenly, several costumed clowns show up below the roller coaster. No, well, I couldn't do anything about that. Guests who break the rules have to be punished. Florence doesn't directly answer my question, but now I'm curious about the so-called punishment. Isn't it a little too late to be saying that now? Even as I reply to Florence, my eyes can't leave those costumed clowns. Those scary-looking clowns are currently dragging the sole person who refused to board the roller coaster, Mia, toward the dark place. Commander, these are the rules. If you stop playing, refuse to play, or lose, you will be penalized. That's what makes the prize so valuable. In the next moment, the launcher roars loudly and sends everyone flying along the tracks up into the sky at high speed. Everyone's just fucking screaming. The wind howls as it races past us. The screams and the way the world is spinning sets my heart racing. But when I turn to look beside me... oh, she's just maniacally laughing. This feels great. Florence is laughing excitedly. So you were peeping at me too, Commander. Florence glances to her side, and it is then I realize she looks far more excited than before. Have we taken the roller coaster together before? For some reason, all this seems strangely familiar to me, as though I've gone on a ride like this in an amusement park a long time ago. Do you remember at last, Commander? It just feels familiar. I'd like to ask you a question. Is it possible that Mia wasn't crazy and that what she said might be true? Just like what Florence said about knowing me and how many people called me Commander. SB might have been like me and forgotten many things, while Mia might be like Florence, knowing more about the situation. However, she had chosen a bad way of expressing herself. Perhaps she had experienced something that caused her to have a breakdown and made it hard for her to convey what she knew. Commander, do you need to think about this question right now? Is there a reason I shouldn't? Florence smiles wickedly. Being indecisive can be very dangerous, Commander. Well, it's about time. The highlight is coming up. Here comes the surprise. As she finishes speaking, the world turns black before me. Other players? The screams are far more hideous than before, and it's definitely not just because of the sudden darkness. Are we inside a tunnel? Flua? Mario, where are you? I can't see you. The air suddenly turns damp and fills with a sickly sweet scent of rust. In the darkness, a glint of light reflecting off the metal winks in and out of view. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, I'd like to inform you of an upcoming surprise. Everyone will be enjoying a special play experience. In the contrast to the others, Florence has stood up and is loudly shouting amidst a strange atmosphere. All your safety harnesses have been undone. Please find a way to avoid the attacks from the clowns while not being flung off. Are you out of your fucking mind? Is this even a roller coaster anymore? I never said it was a roller coaster. I said it was the Heartbeat Accelerator 9000. Everyone, including myself, grips their armrest tightly. Just a blood-curdling scream. The sound of ripping and tearing flesh fills the air. I duck reflexively and narrowly dodge a flying chunk of ruined meat that splashes still warm blood on my face. No, if you factor in the sound of the wind in here, these things in the tunnel are. Keep away from me, Florence. Get ready for battle. Got it. I'll work with you, Commander, anytime, anywhere. Dude, imagine if it was actually like a dark, like, you can only see like by a 3x3 around you. That'd be kind of cool. No, let me just nuke everything from orbit. Now then, congratulations to all you players for completing a course of the Heartbeat Accelerator 9000. Please come over here to collect your stamps, and then you can redeem your prize. People are dead. The fucking sentence is just so fucking. After such a grand narration, it's just people are dead. The celebrity confetti falls on our bloodstained bodies, making it feel as though everything that just happened was just a bad dream. I don't want to write anymore. I almost died. You're still alive, aren't you? Fleur actually died. She, she, she was right beside me. I saw it all. Those saw blades cut off her arm, and then those monsters. In contrast to Florence's cheerfulness, the other players who had barely survived this ordeal are anything but happy. In addition, their nerves had been wound too tight, which led to hostility developing up between them. Didn't she die because you pushed her out, Muriel? A cold, sharp voice interrupts her, even speaking her name. Huh? Is that true? I just, yeah, it was a reflex, and if I had done it, I would have died instead. But even so, Esme backs away as if she's afraid of. Is that how you say it? Mariel? Mariel? And besides, shouldn't you be the questionable one here? I don't even know you. So how do you know my name? Oh, why? Is it strange? Of course it is. Are you trying to gloss over what happened? Now that you mention it, that Miss Mia just now, she seemed to know my name too. I know it will never happen, but it would be cool if Florence could get a Harley Quinn outfit. Dude, the copyright on that bitch would be so hard to obtain. I think maybe like a reference or two would be interesting. Like, but I think the safer way is obviously just with the previous costumes. Imagine though if someone actually did mod in some like accessories, or you know, made some fan art. That'd be. I think that would be the nice like middle ground. I don't know how more or less expensive commissions are nowadays, but I'm sure someone can draft up the concept. Good idea though. Yeah, she's probably like that Mia. She knows more than us. Maybe she'll snap and go crazy like Mia too. Morel's words frighten Esme even more, and she backs several steps away from the other woman, who's staring at Morel down. Morel, you know Fleur's name as well, right? It's just a name. It doesn't mean anything. But that's because she said my name first, so I asked her name. Also, when I asked her why she knew my name, she didn't answer me either, just like you. All she did was spout a bunch of crazy talk. But when you think about it, both you and Mia seem really suspicious. Yes, which is why it's perfectly normal to push out said suspicious people when danger strikes, right? Huh? Isn't doing anything to survive a human's basic instinct? You, on the other hand, you haven't explained how you know anyone. You know who anyone is. Now, who's the suspicious one here? Are you trying to compare knowing names to taking lives? You're just trying to deflect suspicion from yourself. But you and Mia are so damn shady that I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't the monsters who killed Fleur just now, but you. Right, that's enough. Florence steps in to interrupt the argument before it can escalate further. This is the most exciting part. Reward time. You've worked so hard to clear this round of the game. Don't you want to be rewarded for it? I was just about to go. You should save your strength for consoling the rest of these psychos. Also, you'll learn what you cares about after they give out the prize. She glares coldly at Mirel and Esby before turning to leave. Huh? What does that mean? Is she saying that the prize is connected to our personal information? Mirel and Esme exchange looks as though they're trying to figure out what she meant by that. Mia also mentioned riding the roller coaster many times. Did she do it too? Judging by how she's taking everything in stride, that's gotta be it. But still, why didn't they get the clear prize even though after playing so many times? Mia didn't look like she liked it that much. Could there be another reason? Forget it. Not much point thinking about that now. Mario pauses to think for a moment and then looks toward the cold-faced woman's receding silhouette and decides to go after her. You're all going? Wait for me. Don't leave me here. Esme frantically chases after them. The other guests steadily leave as directed by Florence, until I'm the only one left here. So, what happened just now? That ought to count as a major accident, right? After all, a patron dying at a normal amusement park would be sufficient to get the whole place shut down for several months. However, the strange, mind-dulling mood in the air seems to have gone to all the guests, and none of them are making a big deal out of it, myself included. It's not an accident. This is just how the park was designed. Oh, say what? You need to risk big to win big. That's what makes it so fascinating. That's why I'll give you a special reminder, Commander. The rides here are more thrilling than most, and losing a life before clearing a stage is perfectly normal. Normal? Then what if everyone fucking dies? This is an amusement park. We have no shortage of guests here, especially in a place with no queues. Then what do I stand to gain? Leaving aside the grand prize for clearing everything, you said that this is reward time, right? So what kind of reward can I expect to receive? Commander. What? Before I answer your question, there's something I'd like to ask. Why do you think I wanted to keep you here by yourself? Florence doesn't give me a reply. Merely tugs her top open and reaches into her bra like she's looking for something. What are you doing? I reflexively take a step back. You know what reward means better than I do know, Commander. Florence spreads her arms and takes another step toward me. Hang on. Answer the question. You want to know what I'm doing, Commander? I'm just giving you a special reward. So what the hell is this reward anyway? Honestly, who would even feel rewarded in a situation like this? Come to me. I can't do anything to you when you're so far away. Florence's words are syrupy sweet, but she can't hide the undertones of danger in them. In fact, I take another step back upon hearing them. Please collect your reward. I hear a weird voice from behind me, and my hand immediately goes to my gun. Wait, they can talk? Oh, don't be so tense, Commander. This is an amusement park after all, a place of fantasies and stories. Surely nothing that happens here should be considered strange, right? Don't think you can write everything off as normal just because the place is a fucking amusement park. Please collect your reward as soon as possible. The weird voice continues, urging me to claim my so-called reward. Can't you speak plainly? What is this special reward anyway? Before I can react, Florence steps up looking more anxious than me. She grabs my hand while placing her other hand on my cheek. What is it indeed? Just give it a try, and you'll find out. Florence's hand slowly approaches my mouth, and then she extends a finger to caress the corner of my mouth. Come now, open up. You don't need to do anything, Commander, just let me service you. Florence's finger probes deeper, penetrating my lips. And then, she pops a capsule in my mouth. What did you feed me? I told you. It's a special reward. Don't spit it out, okay? Swallow it down. There's a good commander. Florence reaches out to cover my mouth and forces it shut. Meanwhile, the two clowns urging me on to slowly leave, as though satisfied by what has happened. How's that, Commander? Are you happy with your reward? Florence smirks like a cat who got the cream. Do I look happy? Still, you'll need to keep clearing stages to get more rewards. And if I refuse to keep playing? You've already seen what happens when you do that. The scene of Mia being dragged off by the clowns flickers through my mind. You call this an amusement park, but I feel like I've been shanghaied into some sweatshop's fucking production line. But amusement parks like this are common in the White Zones, right? At the very least, there aren't many lines for the attractions here. She does have a point. So, now that you're all rested up, let's move on to the next ride. I can't wait. Florence grabs my hand again and skips off to our next destination, pulling me along behind her. What's wrong, Commander? This is... What's this? Commander? Is there something wrong? Florence brings her face up to mine, expression filled with concern. Oh my, have the meds kicked in? Judging by your face, are you seeing something? What did you feed me? Florence's voice is muffled, even though she's right by my ear. Despite her proximity, it sounds like it's coming from far away. It's something that'll make you very happy. But be careful, Commander. Don't let yourself get lost in the illusion. I'm having a lot of fun voicing her, I'm not gonna lie. But damn, this is making me really tired. But I'm not. We're only on fucking third, bro. Holy shit. Anyway. You remember her name, you say? Yes. I accepted my reward and then I remembered. Is the reward linking to recovering memories? In that case, Mia and the other woman should have gotten at least one reward. Clearly, this wasn't their first time playing this game. Not long ago, I saw something bizarre after receiving Florence's reward. In that case, could that have been one of my memories? I think I knew that woman who was arguing with Muriel. Her name was Pauline, although I don't know what kind of relationship we had. Perhaps it's because she knows more now, but Esme's perpetually frightened face has a little smile in it at least. 5 minutes ago, I met Esme under the building for a second attraction, and then she started a conversation with me. There were several guests around us, including Muriel and Pauline, who had just had their argument, though they seemed to have calmed down now. Aren't you going to talk to them now that you remember the past? No, from what I remember, they seem trustworthy. Trustworthy? I know it sounds a little paranoid, but don't you think it's likely that the person who built this park might be hiding among us, taking part in the games, watching us run around for the grand prize like clowns? Why do you think that? I don't really have a reason for that. It's just a gut feeling. I'm sorry, maybe I'm being oversensitive or something. When I just got here, I didn't remember anything. Just like me. But when I saw Mia, no, it wasn't just Mia or Muriel or Pauline. Truth be told, all the other guests felt familiar apart from you. Felt familiar. I find myself glancing at Florence. She's the only one here who definitely feels familiar to me, and she's eagerly setting up the next event. When Esme speaks again, I quickly turn my gaze back to her. Getting that reward just now only made me feel more certain of that. Not only did I remember their names, I even began to recall snippets of memories from when we spent time together. And judging by their reaction, I think they've recalled a lot, just like me. I suddenly realized why she chose to talk to me instead of the other two. So, your memories include everyone, but not me. Is that it? Let me think. What you're saying is that it isn't just you, but also Pauline and Muriel who don't remember me. In other words, that makes me the most suspicious person here. It's a perfectly reasonable deduction. It makes so much sense that even I'm beginning to doubt myself. After all, the only person who feels familiar to me is Florence, the park manager. So, did you receive anything after receiving your... Do you remember anything after receiving your reward? In fact, even after getting my reward, all I saw was it was also related to the park. I remembered some things too, but you weren't in my memories. I see. In that case, what did you remember? Esme gulps nervously and carefully watches me, as though she's waiting for an answer she's been expecting for a long time. You're not the architect of this place, are you? I see. I thought Esme came to find me just to pry information from me based on what she knew. But now, I didn't mean to click that. It seems like she's begun suspecting me based on what I just said. All I can remember is this park and that girl who's acting as the manager. I turned to look at Florence again. Is there anything else? Also, I saw this amusement park, but it was really run down and looked completely different from how it does now. Is that what you wanted to learn? Perhaps it was the defensiveness in my eyes, but Esme seems to have realized that she was making her intentions too obvious. I didn't mean to suspect you, really. I'm sorry. Esme throws up her hands in panic and her face turns red, but her words have already betrayed her thoughts. It's alright, I don't mind. Truth be told, I'm starting to doubt myself, too. I shrug with a bitter smile on my face. Still, now that you've asked so many questions, may I ask some questions of my own? Sure. What exactly was Mia's punishment? She doesn't seem to have shown up this game. I knew it. You noticed it too. I saw it. I saw everything. Those monsters called clowns dragged her away, and she might never come back. Might never come back. That ridiculous farce of a roller coaster was not a dream. It actually happened. And things like that will probably keep happening. So this punishment is death. I don't say it, but Esme nods knowingly. Perhaps if the number of guests go down, we might have a hard time even if we want to work together. At this rate, will anyone be able to clear the events at all? After hearing what Esme said, I immediately tally up the number of guests present. Apart from Florence and myself, there are 12 other guests here. I see. I'll keep an eye on the number of guests. At the very least, I'll try not to let this number go down. Thank you so much. Esme's face, which only just relaxed a little after hearing my answer, soon scrunches up again, and she grabs her head like she's in pain. But if we keep playing, we might end up dying in one of those dangerous rides, like Fleur. Do you really think we can keep going on like this? As Esme is about to burst into tears, she completely fails to notice someone surreptitiously sneaking up behind her. Oh my, what's this? Do you want to back out too? Florence suddenly sticks her head in between me and Esme, interrupting our conversation. Esme shrieks in terror as she notices Florence, flailing her arms wildly as she stumbles back. Upon noticing the costume clowns behind her, she frantically shakes her head like a pellet drum. I definitely wasn't thinking of that. No, please let me continue. Well, in that case, since everyone's here, let's get started then, shall we? I can't wait to begin. Isn't that right, Commander? Florence laughs and inserts herself between me and Esme, then wraps herself around my arm. Dear guests, thank you for waiting. And now, our next attraction. Sweet, startling night. In contrast to the festive feel of the rest of the park, a creepy building that is clearly out of place here looms before the guests. This is new OST. I haven't heard this before. The mottled, peeling exterior is covered in rusty metal ornaments, as though it's been exposed to the elements for centuries. The main door slowly opens toward us, and the pink sign above it falls as the wind blows. Inside the building is a fathomless darkness. Isn't that just a haunted house? No, this is no ordinary haunted house. It offers thrills beyond your limits, enough to make your adrenaline levels spike. Florence pirouettes in place, and then the clowns beside her obligingly scatter confetti and ribbons. Unfortunately, the audience seems entirely unmoved by her introduction, only staring nervously into the haunted house or hugging themselves as they stand off to the side. Well, at least nobody's trying to back out this time around. Good. So what happened to Mia after all? Yeah, if we play, we might not end up like Fleur, but if we don't play, we'll definitely end up like Mia. I'd like to ask, will there be any surprises halfway through? Like last time? Of course. We've raised the stakes on all our attractions to properly welcome the guests to our park. In addition to the usual scares in the haunted house, there'll be ghosts present, which will take the forms of people you know and talk to you. Still, you don't have to be too worried about them. Just don't let the ghosts lead you astray. What happens if the ghosts take us away? Who knows? I mean, I guess they'll have a good meal. A look of disgust crosses Mirelle's face as she realizes what Florence means. Quit looking down on me. I won't die here. Saying so, Mirelle enters the building. She is soon followed by the others. Looks like you were the last ones, Commander. I hear screams from the guests up ahead. What have they encountered? Are you bothered by what's happening inside, Commander? In that case, I'll make an exception and spoil things for you. You must be wary of the illusions in there, Commander. Mirelle? Question mark? That's strange. Why are we here? It's Mirelle's voice, but her tone is entirely different from before. You idiot! Where did you get your license? At this rate, we won't reach level 14 even if we drive through the night. It's Pauline's voice, but similarly abnormal. How could you even handle all those transport runs and such crappy skills? If you tried that shit in the contamination zone, they'd suit your pants off. Yeah, shut the hell up. I'm checking the route now. Damn it. What's going on? Who changed the route and when? Do you know how many shipments we've lost already? If we fuck this run up, we're all going down together. God damn it, who messed with the vehicle auto navigator? The route's been messed up ever since we left the warehouse. Bloody hell, who else would touch it besides you? It's my fault, I'm sorry. I messed up, I messed everything up. Esme? Why is it you? What are you doing here? You useless bitch. Stop causing trouble here already. Get the fuck away from this shipment. It's my fault, I'm sorry. Please don't chase me away or kill me. I'm expecting, like, extreme gore, like, from these sprites. I feel like if I just click once, I'm gonna see, like, Esme's head, like, sliced in half or something. Like, I'm waiting for it. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I will be pleasantly surprised for Halloween. It is spooky month, after all. The mix of voices gradually fade away, and the shrieking of brakes fill the air. I finally see what is before me. The interior of the haunted house is as expansive and as barren as the wastelands. There is a heavily battered transport truck stopped here. So, they were all on board. I slowly approach the truck, but a pair of hands grab my arm. Don't go over there, Commander. The very next moment, a familiar form smashes through the windshield and hits the ground hard, rolling to a stop at my feet. I'm sorry. Don't kill me. No. Esme screams. Blood covers her face, preventing me from seeing her features clearly. It instantly snaps me back from my entrancement by those seemingly real voices. Right after that, several armed men jump down from the truck before us. They aren't Pauline or Mirelle. but look more like Mongi security troopers. Is this what you meant by costume ghosts? Nope, not even I can help you cheat in this event, Commander. It's her. That's her. She's the fake killer. The Mongi troopers speak in Morel's voice. They point to Esme, who's lying on the ground, and raise their guns. Now then, Commander, how can you tell which of them is a ghost from the haunted house? Just as Florence finishes, a hail of gunfire blazes at us. Florence, get ready for battle. I've been waiting for this. Haunted house fits October nicely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Ooh, I wonder if any of my friends pulled Florence. Aww. I was gonna be like, I wonder if I can play as Florence, because what I really like to do is pull and then play as people, but since Robella and Level are coming up, dude, I can't in good conscience pull. I mean, I'll give her a couple 10 pulls maybe if I like her enough. Are you telling me this won't? There we go.
进展是为您服务。
Okay.
听我指令。
I guess we're just gonna okay.
请吩咐。
Oh, okay, they just fucking died. After fighting off the ghosts, I look around, but I don't see Esme anywhere. Esme? I asked my question in the direction where the voices came from earlier, but there's no reply. Those people, were they all just illusions? As I ponder the question, I hear Esme scream from a nearby room, which confirms my supposition. Stay close, Florence. Are you worried I'll get lost too, Commander? Right after that, I hear Morel scream from another room. More and more strange noises start coming from nearby rooms, which is actually strangely reassuring. Looks like those people from now really were just illusions, but then why would I be seeing things regarding those people? Commander? Commander? Earth the Commander. Come in, Commander. Yeah, I'm still here. Still, as the park manager, you should know this place very well, right? Of course. I'll be sure to bring you safely out of here. Florence suddenly grabs my hand. What happened just now was too dangerous. Stay with me from now on, alright, Commander? I follow Florence forward. Our path this time is clearly different, with hardly any obstacles. We turn several corners before finally arriving in a large, spacious chamber. Be careful of illusions, Commander. There is a truck in the middle of this room as well. Florence, what is the meaning of this? I point to the Mongi uniform beside the truck. It's for you. Your clothes got torn during the previous battle, so I got a new set ready for you. However, I didn't have any spares, so I had to use some of the costumes from the costume ghosts. It's clean though. Florence smiles and hands me the bundle of clothing. My clothes? When did they get damaged? I look down and sure enough there's a huge hole there at my waist, although I don't remember what happened. Honestly, are you waiting for me to dress you, Commander? Florence immediately steps forward and reaches out to me. No thanks. I can do it myself. I deflect Florence's hand but take the clothes from her. A voice which sounds just like the one from before rings out from the truck behind me. Esme, what are you doing here? Wait a minute. It's not just Esme. Even all the people who went missing on the previous mission are here too. What's going on? As the noise grows, the sound of the truck's engine gradually fades. Commander, are you listening to the argument from inside? I already told you to be careful of illusions. Just ignore them and put the clothes on. We need to keep moving forward. As Florence keeps urging me, the sense of wrongness from before keeps growing. Right. Got it. After getting Florence, I still need to get Choha's weapon, and then I can't try for Florence's weapon if I have time. I heard that getting her weapon wasn't mandatory. No, I mean it's nice to have. It's a team-wide buff, but surely. Well, I guess if you like her a lot, then who am I to judge, right? I nod, reach for my waist, and then I draw my handgun and put a bullet between Florence's eyes. Ah. Commander. As her voice trembles, she stumbles backward and disappears, like one of the costume ghosts that I fought off earlier. I knew it. So even this Florence was an illusion, too. Okay. Just don't let the ghost lead you astray. The very next moment, just like last time, a familiar form smashes through the windshield and hits the ground hard, rolling to a stop at my feet. Okay. I ignore this ridiculous display from before and turn away. And then I head out of the room until I find a door shining with light. Now then, congratulations on successfully completing Sweet Starling Night, dear players. Florence skips over to me, her chest bound up with ribbons into a big bow knot. When I see Florence like this and remember what happened inside the haunted house, I feel a sense of relief spread through me. What are you up to now? What I'm up to? It's reward time now, isn't it? The event's over, so it's time to claim the reward. Oh. It's over? So everyone's made it out of the haunted house? Yep, it's over, and everyone who hasn't made it out has probably been caught by the ghosts. I look around at the other guests and tally them up. Strange. Why are there only 11 people here? The missing person is Esme. And while all the other guests look shaken, none in particular stands out. Esme, I'm sorry. Esme. I really didn't know it was you. I thought it was a ghost. What? Florence, did someone die in that haunted house? Ah, didn't you know, Commander? After all, you were there too. It seems Morel saw too many illusions and ended up killing the real Esme by accident. Which means Esme's final scream echoes in my mind, which goes blank. Commander, you're not feeling nervous, are you? After seeing I've been quiet for a while, Florence pushes her face in front of mine. I'm not in the mood to talk about rewards or anything at the moment. Florence wiggles her body and the big bow knot on her chest with it. It looks like the wind might blow it loose at any moment. But that won't do, Commander. If you refuse your reward, you'll have to accept a punishment. She's right. Morel, who was still in view just now, has already left with the rest of the guests before I could even speak to her. Reward time is here, and everyone must claim their reward. Look, Commander, I've been tied up by this ribbon, and if you don't undo it, I won't be able to do anything. Is your heart really not stirred by the plight of a poor, old, defenseless little me? After thinking back on what happened just now, I'm in no mood to indulge her. In any other words, you can do anything you want to me. Florence bends down and lays loose the end ribbon in my hand. While the ball seems to be in my court now, the swarm of costumed clowns behind are a sign to remember that I have no choice at all. I like Krolik more than Choha, but I have to admit Choha is more OP. She's a lot more versatile, that's for sure. She's also like extremely well versed in traversing the map. With barely any strength needed, With just a tug of my fingertips, the ribbon slips free, easily. Florence sticks her tongue out smugly. On the tip of her tongue, I see a blue and red pill.
战场清理完毕，大家都做得不错。
Okay. I got jump scared by that sound effect. God damn. I actually jumped a little bit. Kind of got my ass. All right. I think it's because these NPC designs with like the shadows over the eyes, so there's no eyes at all, generally are just kind of unsettling to me. So you could actually scare me pretty well with these. I'm no commander in terms of like fearlessness, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, let's begin. No, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. The sound of a metallic crash and the uproar of an engine washed through the air overhead. Unlike how proudly she carried herself earlier, the current Morel seemed a little panicked. It was you. You did it. Morel points at me. Pauline and I began suspecting you from the moment we got our reward, but Esme, that idiot, she still went to speak to you, even though she knew there was something wrong with you. And after she spoke to you, she died in the haunted house. It must have been you. You killed Esme. You're the one to talk, considering you're the one who fucking did it. If I'm not wrong, Esme is the second person you've killed so far, isn't she? Shut up. It's your fault, you bitch. You pushed me to it. Going on these runs is a pain, and I've been wanting to quit the job for a while. But you and Fleur, the two of you kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and that's why I was so tense when Esme showed up. That's why. Runs? Job. I recall the illusion of the haunted house. Is she still lost in that illusion? Shut up, you idiot. You've said too much. However, Pauline's reaction doesn't seem like she's talking about the illusion. Also, she doesn't seem as calm as before. You're still lecturing me. Even if we were in Mangi, you were lecturing me. All I did was drive the fucking truck. I didn't even touch the cargo. Is it my fault that I got lost? That's why I quit Mangi. But I got stuck with a shitty assignment on my last day, and now I'm in a place like this doing this shit over and over again. God fucking damn it. Fleur was right. I can't believe I've done this so many times already. I told you to shut up, right? And don't forget, you killed Fleur. After seeing Morel grow more and more hysterical, Pauline drops her with a single punch. After that, Pauline eyes me warily. Oh, don't mind me. Carry on. Did you remember anything after getting your reward? Shouldn't you put something on the table before trying to pump me for information? You heard it all just now, didn't you? That was our information. Looks like Pauline was trying to stop Morel from talking about what they remembered after claiming the second prize. However, why is it that they recall them why is it that what they recall resembles what happened in the haunted house so closely? Once again, I look at the nearby building. Perhaps it was custom built for these guests who once worked for Mangi security. Considering that, the events would line up. Right. I have no intention of hiding it, but unfortunately, what I remember is still related to this park. Related to this park? Oh, you're awake now. Yes. I saw this park transform into a ruined, abandoned place, like all this was just some dream taking place on a pile of rubble. But what does that mean? I know. She's the real killer. She doesn't have memories that line up with ours. There's no way that she's a friend. Esme also said everything she remembered was related to the park. Upon hearing this, Pauline eyes me warily. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't all about the amusement park. I remembered an email too. However, it looked like junk mail and the contents were vague, so I didn't pay it much attention. That's way too vague. Weren't there any details you remembered, like say who wrote it to you? If I'm not wrong, it was... It was a very familiar person with a showy personality who always liked saying weird things. However, I didn't hate them. Hey! Florence suddenly appears before me. As balloons and ribbons flutter down through the air around her, she smiles as brightly as the sun, instantly sweeping away the melancholia in the air. Thinking of me, Commander? Seeing how naturally Florence inserted herself into our conversation, she must have set up a third event. She must have the third event set up and ready to go. For all I know, she might have been the author of that junk mail. Did you finally remember that little love letter of mine that I wrote to you? Florence looks excitedly at me. Was it a love letter? Sorry that I called it junk mail earlier. You see, she's in the league with the manager. For all we know, she's the one who wants to see us all dying off one by one. Oh, please. We aren't just in league. My body already belongs to the commander, you know. Oh, wait a fucking second. Why don't I know this? See, Pauline, see? Florence grabs my arm, which only makes Mirelle spiral harder, pointing at us while yelling for Pauline to look. However, Pauline merely looks down and waxes thoughtful. Hey, Pauline, what are you navel-gazing about? The mastermind is right here. Just these two kills, and we might be able to get out. I just can't keep doing this. It seems Mirelle has fully accepted the fact that she has killed 2 people. Mirelle, have you considered that if Esme died because she found out what was going on behind the scenes, then the fact that you're pointing and screaming like this means the next one's going to be... Huh? Mirelle freezes up. Wait a minute. Wait. This isn't right. Mirelle looks at me fearfully, then begins backing up. I'm told you I'm not the mastermind. However, Mirelle isn't hearing me anymore. Oh, yes. And besides, even if I'm the manager, I have the right to flirt with interesting people, no? Way to undermine my rebuttal, Florence. Then what should we do, Pauline? I told you we should have killed her together. This is bad. Mirelle starts hyperventilating. It looks like she's been wound up tight for so long that she might snap at any moment. She feels around her body as though she's looking for something. What's wrong? Did you get all those bad habits back when remembering your past? No. Rather, I've become more and more on edge after not touching that for so long. Mirelle checks herself from head to toe, but she still can't find what she's looking for. What are you looking for? Mirelle gulps and shakes her head. So much for not touching the goods. You're probably having a field day helping yourself to it. I've been working for so goddamn long. You didn't even give me a fucking raise. So what if I took a little? As Florence watches Mirelle get more and more worked up, she sidles over and whispers into her ear. I know where to get what you want. Where is it? Florence smiles as cheerful as ever. She throws her arms out like she's making an entrance and then bows. She points to the sky. Around 24 suspended cabins dangle from the frame of a Ferris wheel while the wind blows past. However, the difference is that there are costumed clowns climbing among them, clearly visible. The third event is about to begin. Everyone, welcome to the whirling mid-air maze. The announcement is accompanied by poppers going off, balloons rising into the air, and colorful ribbons glinting in the sunlight. This is ridiculous. How could there be above us? Mirelle suddenly looks where Florence is pointing, at the mid-air cabins, and then she sweeps away a ribbon that landed on her face. Something falls out of the cabins. Oh! It's Esme's corpse. Oh! That was a twist I did not expect. It lands right in front of Mirelle, less than a meter away. Her twisted features stare right into Mirelle's face. Pushed past her limits, she finally bursts into a scream. Esme, I didn't. It wasn't me. Morel's legs gave out from under her as she collapses to the ground, still staring the bloody mist at Esme's body. She pants heavily, but all the deep breaths she's taking don't deliver any useful air to her lungs. All she manages to accomplish is produce a rapid whooshing noise from her throat like a set of bellows. Having trouble breathing? Morel can't respond since she's too busy hyperventilating on the ground. Meanwhile, Florence kneels down in front of Morel, the kindergarten teacher, teaching Morel how to properly breathe with a smile and exaggerated motions. Oh my, you can't be too hasty. Come, follow me now. Open your mouth, breathe in, out, in, out. What a good girl you are. Florence smiles condescendingly and pats her head. Hang on, this is not proper procedure for dealing with hyperventilation. Seeing as Florence is a medical doll, she should clearly know better. What she's doing now is nothing more than a form of sadistic mockery. Suggested gore is better. I feel like a good balance should be there. Like, I would have enjoyed. Sorry, that sounds extremely sadistic. I would have appreciated, in terms of the writing, what Esme's corpse, like, more detail in her corpse. Like, how did Morel kill her? Did she shoot her? Or did she, like, stab her or something? But we just have her corpse. Like, I can enhance it a little bit by adding stuff like Esme's corpse as it hits the floor in front of Morel. It leaves a trail of blood that conveniently splattered across the surface that it just landed on, or something like that. Naturally, it does not help Morel at all. She dry heaves and then begins feeling her body up and down, checking all her pockets. However, she still does not find what she's looking for. What you're looking for isn't there. Florence smiles evilly and tousles Morel's hair. What on earth is she looking for? Unable to speak, Morel gets up and runs off towards the Ferris wheel. Whatever. Once I board it, I'll find out what she's after. With that thought in mind, I head over to the Ferris wheel too. Oh my. I forgot to mention something. There are scary illusions inside those cabins which might make it go crazy, like Morel. You might not have a good time if you don't find that. Once again, I am filled with a sense of foreboding. I look at the cabins, which greatly outnumber the guests, and decide to ask what's on my mind. And each cabin has what Morel needs, is that right? Well, that might need a little luck, Commander. An inconclusive answer. I think it's against Chinese law to show corpses. Really? Oh, wait, that's right. Fuck, that is true. I don't think there can be, like, extreme gore. Or can you? Hold on, let me research that. Games that depict drugs, sexuality, blood, organized crime, or defamation of the Chinese government are almost always banned. Gee, this is the most banned motherfucking game in the entirety of China then. Like, what the fuck? We've got some of the most primo sexuality in this fucking game. So I don't know. Yeah. This is a special stage, Commander. I hope you have fun. Florence pats my shoulder, encouraging me like before, but when I look behind her at Esme's corpse, which she was using without a care in the world, a chill runs down. Wait a minute. Which she was using without a care in the world. What the fuck do you mean using? As in, like, what, she just nonchalantly used it as a prop? Checking all the boxes? Yeah, exactly, right? Like,
收到。
I don't know, man. Just get a little bit of a hunch. Just a little bit.
撕裂吧！
是。就这样消失吧。听我指令。就是现在。
来啦来啦！
为您服务。收到。
Where? Oh, do they spawn in? Oh, they're over there. What the fuck? What in the world is that? I got an idea.
是。了解。 我来掩护，请吩咐。
耶！来啦来啦！
请吩咐。为您服务。
Okay.
准备。
哎，
这领导。行动中。
Here we go. Now then, congratulations to all our players for successfully completing the whirling mid-air maze stage. I've become a little numb to her mechanically repeated congratulations speech. Rather, I'm more concerned about the number of guests left over after this round. 10. But no matter how many times I count them, I can only find 10 guests remaining. This is one less than before. And the missing person is... Well... I look up at the Ferris wheel. One cabin is tightly shut, and the feeling of dread rises up in my heart. Pauline seems to be thinking the same thing as me as we both head towards the Ferris wheel. And now, the much anticipated reward time. Where are you two going? Once the cabin finally comes to a halt, Pauline and I slowly open the sealed door. She just fucking heaves. As expected, Morel's in there. However, she is hanging upside down in an unnatural way, trussed up by the rope that was meant to ensure her safety. The interior of the cabin is a mess. It seems like she spent a long time searching it. Her body is covered in some unidentifiable goop, but before I can deduce its nature, I'm hit by its complex odor. Oh my. I do apologize for this. I'll clean it up later. It's time to collect your reward, so run along now. Otherwise, there might be trouble. After seeing our reaction, Florence goes to urge the other guests to claim their rewards and hurries over to us. What's this? I squeeze an object in my hand. It's a pink capsule that I found in my cabin seat. After considering that this might be what Morel was looking for, I didn't use it and kept it aside. Perhaps Morel was just unlucky and didn't manage to find the drug. Anything could happen when you have to face an enemy in a mentally unbalanced state. I saw it all. Pauline suddenly speaks up, her eyes fixed on Morel. There was no medicine inside her cabin and the door was locked. She just kept throwing up even as she was searching, desperately trying to survive, until this clown showed up. As she says this, said clowns turn up behind Florence once again. Don't worry about such trivial things. Cheer up a little. You cleared the stage, didn't you? Isn't the reward the most important thing? Once you claim reward, you'll forget all about these revolting things. Florence produces a pair of party poppers out of nowhere and places them in my and Pauline's hands. The other clowns hand out poppers to the rest of the guests. Meanwhile, she has a party popper of her own. Bang! Florence sets hers off in front of us. The confetti floats down on us, carried by the wind, completely out of place amidst the silence between myself and Pauline. I understand. Pauline hesitates for several seconds, then looks at Morel one last time before turning and leaving. Next up, a lovey-dovey world for two. Commander, I promise you'll be thoroughly satisfied with this reward. Florence takes out Florence takes out her syringe, filled with a pink liquid of unknown origin and effects. Are you gonna jab me this time? Unlike the capsules from the previous two stages, Florence lightly depresses the syringe plunger and then moves up to palpate my neck. However, even after the events that just transpired, and perhaps I can pick up a hint of madness in Florence's personality, I find myself repelled by her. Florence is also taken aback when she sees that I'm pushing her away. What's wrong, Commander? Weren't you having fun earlier? It's true that Florence hasn't done me any harm. However, the terrible fates that befell Esme and Morel play out in my mind again. Commander? Florence seems to sense what I'm thinking because she steps forward and presses herself against me. Don't you trust me? She looks up, tracing a circle on my chest, like she's teasing me or perhaps flirting with me. Perhaps in the past, I might have simply written this off as one of her typical pranks, but now it all seems off. However, my moment of hesitation is enough for her to plunge her syringe's needle into me. What is this? Soon, the strength has fled my body, and she pushes lightly and I collapse to the ground. Oh my. I'm sorry, Commander, but you seem so insistent on struggling. I found it hard to resist the urge to do something to you. What are you gonna do? Florence smiles smugly and then straddles my body. And then she feels around and retrieves the pink capsule I hid. I'm gonna give the hard-working Commander her well-deserved reward, of course. And a little extra. Please enjoy it. Give it back. Honestly, Commander, this could be considered cheating, you know. The fact that I haven't punished you is being quite lenient already. We mustn't be greedy. Also, medicine shouldn't be casually taken. See, you're starting to spout nonsense now. But I haven't eaten a thing besides what you gave me. Much as I'd like to say that, I'm currently too weak to say anything at all. And now, allow me to give you some treatment. Her smiling face blurs in my vision, but Florence's voice still echoes in my ears until I plunge into the abyss.
相比胜利，大家平安无事更令我感到开心。
I straight up thought this bandit was just gonna pull another fucking quick draw on her. That was some, Ooh, we still got like half the event to go. Alright then. Give me 1 second. I'm only 26% done, bro. Well, then again, I have the others to do, but what the fuck? Alright. Let's go. Oh, what's with the sad music? Hey. A familiar voice speaks into the girl's ear into the darkness. She opens her eyes and sees the medical doll and her devilish smile. Naturally, she is holding her usual medical cart with various syringes laid out on it, as well as many unique concoctions, which the girl cannot name at the moment. Did I wake you? It's injection time. Ugh, it's alright. Not like I was sleeping anyway. You weren't sleeping? Florence suddenly becomes more alert. I just didn't want to. Why do you have all these syringes here anyway? All these jabs? It's not like they're gonna do any good, are they? The girl frowns and looks down, tugging at the hem of her gown. At a glance, what lies beneath are a pair of perfectly ordinary and pretty girl's legs. But on closer inspection, an observer will realize that her body has been forced into an illusion of normalcy. Nobody beside her head physician Florence knows exactly what kind of hideously deformed body lurks underneath her tight bindings. She glances at the motorized wheelchair beside her, the object that is practically a second pair of legs for her. Her innate deformities and frail constitution have left her unable to use prosthetic limbs. The various devices attached to the wheelchair have practically turned it into an extension of herself. It's a waste for me to still be alive. She knows it's wrong to think that, but she can't help thinking it anyway. The less said about being treated or cured, the better. She knows she doesn't deserve such a good ending. After all, she isn't an amazing person or anything. What to do? What should I do? Alright, if the treatment succeeds, I'll give a reward. How about that? A reward? Upon hearing this, the girl's eyes light up again. Really? Wow, I can't wait. Your last reward left me excited for an entire day. I wonder what kind of reward it'll be. I'm sure it'll be really exciting coming from you, right, Florence? The gloominess on the girl's face had vanished. She hummed a nameless song, eagerly waiting Florence's pre-injection examination. However, Florence's eyes turned ice cold in an instant. So, was this what you were doing when you weren't sleeping? Oh, she's pissed. Florence grabs the mug by the girl's bedside table and splashes it onto the ground. Its former contents were deep-colored fruit juice that radiated an alluring aroma. the heck? I was gonna drink that. Utis content exceeds the maximum safe dose by 223.8%. Daring today, aren't we? Florence slightly flicks her finger to acquire a sample of the liquid and then shows the scan results to the girl. I guess that counts as praise coming from you? Look, I told you, you can't keep taking Utis if you want to get better. I know that. She's clearly aware that taking Utis is like trying to quench her thirst with poisoned wine. But for her, working hard to live on is a little more than enduring pain today to suffer more tomorrow. Rather than live on like that, perhaps just trying to find pleasure in each day that passes might be a more realistic option. I just want to experience fun things every day, and this is one of them. You mean I can't even do that? Say, Florence, you know everyone's taking this stuff, right? It's not like this is a safe zone or anything. It's perfectly normal here. I've spent 20 years in pain and boredom. So, you can't blame me for doing this, right? The girl's hands reflexively tighten around her knees and she gazes ardently into Florence's eyes. I don't belong in this damn world. For people like us, simply being conscious is the greatest suffering of all. Florence does not reply. Instead, she puts away her syringes and medical apparatus. It seems like this treatment session will not be carried out. When you fool your senses with narcotics, you're not seeing the real world, only an illusion. Only an illusion? If life is an illusion, then I'm no less an illusion, and being thus, the illusion is real to me. Why do I have to be fully conscious of everything? I'm happier, more comfortable like this. I just want to feel better. I would also like to get Florence the outfit from Dead Man Wonderland. I mean, that is a thought. I'm human, you know. I'm not a doll or an eyelid. It hurts to live like this, and it's hard to live more comfortably. In the first place, humans can't ever perceive the real world. All we perceive are what our senses tell us. What difference is there between the excitement and joy that I see in my illusions and what you can perceive? You see, I can enjoy living like this now. Driven by the intense emotions which fill it, the girl tries to rise. But even getting up is difficult when her lower body is paralyzed. However, the drugs she's taken have inured her to pain and weakness, replaced by a constant feed of dopamine. Did you know, Florence? This is a real miracle. My pain has all been converted to pleasure. The girl's body trembles as she gulps down the drool that's been constantly building up. While I don't want to say this again, this is due to cognitive impairment brought about by your severe brain damage. Meanwhile, Florence seems to have grown used to all this and chuckles nonchalantly. Excessive emotional outbursts aren't good for you. I hope this drug hasn't completely fried your brain yet and made you forget how you left Mangi's security. Saying so, Florence pushes the medical cart away and prepares to leave the ward. Wait, Florence. The girl grabs Florence's sleeve. You aren't gonna punish me? Even if you don't reward me, as long as there's punishment. The girl's face is flushed and pink. There's no way to tell what she's thinking. Your body can't bear the injections now, otherwise you'll suffer great pain. So much that you might wish you were dead, you know? Or you might just die on the spot. However, this only seems to excite the girl more. She pants heavily and her breathing grows chaotic. Really? Now I'm curious. I just want to know what kind of pain that would be. Fucking hell. Even if I died, how would it be any worse than how I'm living now? Or perhaps what you might call pain might end up being pleasure to me. Florence looks at the girl and then she laughs, as though she is suddenly amused by her. In that case, why don't you tell me what the world you're seeing now is like? After hearing that, the girl looks out the window. Her eyes sparkle, and for a moment, Florence thinks she can see something in her eyes. An amusement park. A happy, lively, heavenly place. There, you can be happy no matter what you seek. The girl grabs Florence's hands and pulls her over. Their eyes meet. Hers are wide and unblinking, fully exposed to Florence. Can you see it? A dreamscape filled with cries of joy, a kaleidoscopic fantasy. One that makes my heart race and fills me with non-stop pleasure, the one that makes me feel like I'm still alive. For a moment, Florence can almost hear the laughs and the music of the park, but soon, the girl's hurried panting drowns those sounds out. Can a person's fantasies really influence others? A guess that's so bold that even Florence finds it hard to believe begins welling up in her narrow cloud. She can clearly feel her clock speed rising and the circulatory fluid's flow rate going up. She's getting excited too, even if she didn't intend to be. In the end, Florence breaks away from the girl and turns away, leaving the ward. On her way out, she notices an amusement park stamp book on the girl's bedside table. It's old, but it's been very well preserved. Oh shit. Medical bay. Again. Oh god. Hey. The light is too dazzling for my drowsy brain. It awakens me, but also intensifies the pain in my head. Ah, you're awake at last. I open my eyes and see Florence before me, looking at me with a concerned expression on her face. The scene feels very familiar. Unfortunately, I have a splitting headache and I still remember what she did just now, so I can't bring myself to be as close to her as I was just now. The procedure was very successful, but the complete recovery will take time. Procedure? Like what? A surgical procedure? Where's my dick at? There's a scalpel on the table beside the slab, along with a slew of medical devices whose purpose completely eludes me. I have a pretty good idea what Florence did while I was unconscious. I try moving my body, and fortunately everything seems to be working fine. What did you do to me? What else could I do? I'm a medical doll. All I do is provide treatment. Also, I made sure to hold myself back, even when I was looking at your sleeping face, Commander. Or are you saying you wanted me to do something to you, Commander? The headache flares. No. Speaking of which, what exactly did I need treatment for anyway? It's true that she's been giving me plenty of treatment since I came here. First it was feeding me medication, then jabbing me, now it's full-on surgery, and she's even treating it like some kind of reward. It was to fix your brain problems, of course. At the very least, I had to make you remember me, Commander. She laughs and draws closer to me, radiating goodwill. For a moment, I'm brought back to when I first met her, and all the cruel things she did to seem utterly unrelated to her. Well, did you have a dream? Sort of. I rub my temples and the piercing pain banishes the fog in my brain for a while, allowing me to instantly recall what I saw in my dream. I saw a run-down amusement park and that stamp book, this stamp book, the one I'm holding now, it was all tattered and filthy. Oh, did you dream of me, Commander? You are moaning my name the whole time. Moaning your... You're making that up, aren't you? I think back on what I saw. That vision was incomparably real and complete compared to all the previous times, but soon the brain fog rolls back in, and try as I might, I just can't recall the memory in its entirety. So, I was just asking. After all, I would feel terribly alone if only I remembered you while you didn't remember me. Look around. There are medical devices everywhere in the room, but rather than the clinic, all these mysterious chemicals and experimental equipment lining the walls make it look more like a lab. Meanwhile, the area cordoned off by several sheets of white cloth on the other side of the room ought to be a makeshift recovery ward. I can vaguely make out the shapes of patient beds there. What are you looking at? I don't know if she's worried that I found something, but Florence suddenly thrusts my face into mine and blocks my line of sight. Where is this place? I decide not to ask about the cordoned area directly and inquire about something else instead. This doesn't look like the amusement park, and there are no other guests here. It's the manager's private clinic, of course, one of those so-called employees only, no visitor allowed areas. Ah, so it was your room. Yup. So if there's anything you want to do with me here, this is the perfect place for it, you know. A perfect place. You got 29k survivors, but I can't post for the event because my name violates TOS. I mean, you could just change it a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Absolutely nobody is going to find us here. She fixes me with an earnest gaze, like she's trying to send some message to me. What could she possibly be getting at? I'll pass. When does the next round start? After thinking briefly, I decide to head to the next attraction instead. I need to learn more through playing the game, so hanging around here won't help. Won't you stay a little longer? It's been so long since we shared a lovey-dovey world for two. You're in such a hurry to leave right after completing your surgery. Take care of your body, okay? Definitely not. Looks like you're more anxious than me, Commander. I don't like Frontline Survivors a lot, but I'm just not a huge player of those types of games. But maybe I'll like it this time around. Maybe Florence will be my gun girl. A massive steel structure looms silently before us. Its metal rails flow smoothly and aesthetically, incorporating steep drops, hard turns, dizzying spirals, and even a 90-degree direct downward descent. It gleams with a metallic sheen in the sunlight, resembling nothing so much as a tangle of barbed wire. Even the launch mechanism is designed to look like some vast, ferocious beast with its distinct and sharp angles. It's not hard to imagine what kind of sound its engine will make. Ta-da! Commander, come look. This is our most exciting attraction, the Heartbeat Accelerator 9001. You know you can change your name? Yeah, you can totally change your name, bro. Granted, it looks more impressive, but in the end, it's just a roller coaster. I mean, I don't think anyone calls their commander Aoife. At least, I don't think many. I was able to change my thing, I think. And the most important thing is that it looks completely the same as the Heartbeat Accelerator 9000 that we rode for the first event. Haven't we been on this one before? I waved my stamp book to Florence. Would it be best to move on to another attraction to clear all the stages quickly and claim the grand prize ASAP? Huh? What are you talking about, Commander? We haven't gone to this one yet. You mustn't clear the stages out of order, you know. Florence looks at me in surprise, like I just said something strange. What do you mean, haven't gone on this one yet? Do you really think adding +1 to the number makes it a brand new ride? I look around, trying to see if anyone else around me agrees. Quite the opposite, in fact. All the other guests just look at me like I grew a second head. What's she talking about? We only just arrived at the park, didn't we? Esme, how many times have we gone on this ride now? Uh-oh, the flashback's happening. What's going on? I mean, surely it's no big deal if she's already ridden the roller coaster before, right? Upon seeing the confused look on my face, Florence approaches and speaks quietly to soothe me, but it does nothing to relieve my unease. I mean, surely it's no big deal. She's already ridden. Oh. She's repeating what she's saying. Don't you usually go on it with me several times, Commander? Florence's smile is as warm as ever, but right now it seems utterly alien. She's saying what I said. She clearly remembers what's going on, but she's pretending that this is our first time on this ride. What's her game here? Now then, take your seat, Commander. Hurry! The guests present don't seem to have realized they've gone on the ride already. They excitedly board the roller coaster like it's their first time. Dubious, I follow suit. Now then, your seat is here, Commander. Even my place is the exact same as before. I look around, and the others are in practically the same seats as the first time around. Meanwhile, the seats of the people who have vanished are naturally empty. Suddenly, my thoughts are interrupted by an abrupt glare. Pauline is looking at me. Oh, Commander, what a coincidence. There's just so happens to be an empty seat behind you. It only costs 100 collapse pieces, but I'd rather use it for another pole. 29k, it's not like they win me anything. I mean, yeah. Sorry, Florence. As Florence prepares to sit down beside me, like before, I get up right before she takes her seat and walks over to the woman looking at me as Florence watches in shock. Not gonna sit beside Miss Manager? We don't have much time, so I'll just skip that for now. I look at Florence, who is looking at me. I can't tell what she's thinking from her gaze. I thought she dragged you off for punishment. I didn't expect to see you again. Pauline's words confirm my guess. Let's get to the point. I don't do pleasantries. We take our seats and do up our safety belts. I deliberately avoid Florence's gaze. I've finished this ride once before, but the others seem to have forgotten about this. Is that all? What else should there be? Mia found out about this too, and things didn't end well for her. Looks like you know more than I do. You remember what happened to Mia. However, Mia went crazy after learning too much and self-destructed. This is clearly not the case for Pauline. Why are you alright? Are you that eager for me to die? I mean, I just want to soak up some experience for protecting myself? Pauline suddenly smiles, her gaze drifting to the top of the roller coaster in the distance. Don't worry too much. I've been on this roller coaster a dozen times and I'm still sitting here perfectly fine. A dozen times? So she didn't die, but she didn't get the full clear prize. And she hasn't left the park all this time? Well, I don't know the exact number, but I don't remember anything from more than a dozen loops ago. It's as though she can sense my confusion because she speaks in a cool, calm manner like she's talking about the weather. Go on. One day, during a certain reward time, I began to recall what happened before I came to this park. I slowly realized what's going on. I'm not the only one. Many people have begun waking up too. What? So does that medicine really fix the brain? After suspecting Florence for so long, I was suddenly at a loss for words. Was she really just giving us medical care? And Is this looping amusement park just a psychiatric ward for treating mental patients? Then why is it that everyone, myself included, has fuzzy memories? And that's when the real nightmare started. Pauline seems to have anticipated my reply because she continues. We began going on the rides in order to chase the brief moments of lucidity, and as a result, we began actively playing the game. That was when the stakes for the attractions began going up, when lives began to be lost. Do you not want to leave this place? Pauline shakes her head. It's not that we don't want to, but we can't. Haven't you realized it yet? There's no way out. What's really strange is that the exit seems to have vanished after you came here. I can kind of guess how she did it. Probably another form of drug. As you can see, that manager is very good at this sort of thing. The drugs damaged our brains, making us see something that isn't really there, and keeping us from finding the way back. When you refuse to play, you won't get your reward. Then your memories become hazy, which makes it even harder to find your way back, or even to remember why you need to escape in the first place. But even after playing for so long, I've never been able to find truly a way out of here. That's the other reason why we can't escape. The reward is like a drug, which eases Pauline of the other symptoms, but it also makes them dependent on this place. Florence's drugs, syringes, and that procedure of hers have come to mind again. Is this why you're remaining here even after learning all this information? Not entirely. I know how this park works, but I also know that I deserve to be here for what I've done. Pauline mutters quietly and smiles again. Is it related to your job? If I'm not wrong, you're all truckers from Mangi Security. I can't say. Still clinging on to your NDA like a time like this? Well, just think of me as a resident here. Once I've returned to the usual into my new normal, that means I've been completely tamed by this park. All I can tell you is that the clear prize or whatnot is a lie. The moment you come here and the main gate vanishes behind you, you will never be able to leave this place. As for that manager, I should have realized it earlier. She's the one controlling the poison and medicine both. She's just using them to make us dance in the palm of her hand. There's no way we could leave, and no way she'd ever cure us. If you don't believe me, check that stamp book you're holding. I take out the book, and the wind riffles its pages, flipping page after page, but the contents are all indistinct. I can't see the right names or the requirements for their collecting stamps, and most importantly, there's no end to the pages. They keep flipping and flipping endlessly. What's going on here? Just like how the main gate vanished at the start, I would have sworn I was seeing things if I hadn't been certain that my mind was clear. Or perhaps that was an illusion, but in that case, where's the line between reality and illusion in this place? So, if all this is a lie, then why are we trapped here? There's no point to all this. Who knows? Perhaps it's just because it's fun. I look where Pauline is looking. Florence is smiling sadistically as she starts the roller coaster up. Why are you telling me this? Even the most exciting game becomes boring after it turns into a routine. I'm just tired. In the next moment, we are plunged into this pitch-black tunnel. I hear the same sounds of flesh tearing like before, and the air once again turns damp and sickly sweet. Drip, 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 drip. The wind is still howling, but I can hear droplets of liquid splashing on the ground. Pauline! All I can see now is a shredded, severed limb, but I can tell who it belongs to. Even after being ripped to pieces, Pauline didn't scream. Didn't even make a sound. Commander, maybe you should take care of yourself before worrying about her. Florence has moved up to me without me noticing, a cheerful smile on her face. Behind her, the gore-soaked costume clowns are capering around and playing with brightly colored balloons. You don't have to worry about that.
是，还在期待什么？为您服务。
来了来了。耶！
Now then, congratulations to our players for completing a course of the Heartbeat Accelerator 9001. As the people around me celebrate the survival, I walk directly up to Florence. We need to talk. Oh, so eager, Commander. But unfortunately, there's no special prizes this time around. There's nothing else I can do. In contrast to her usual antics, Florence turns and makes to leave. Dropping the act now, I open the stamp book and throw it in front of her. How many more secrets does this amusement park hold? I take a big step forward, past Florence, and block her path. Going on rides over and over again, losing our memories, never getting the clear prize, this endless game is nothing but a fucking scam. And people have died for this lame scam. Forceful, aren't you, Commander? That just excites me even more. Answer my question. However, the world fades into a blur before my eyes. Oh, I haven't gotten this hot and bothered in a while, but you floated so quickly. What did you do? This is just because you were too hasty, you know? After all, you did just undergo a medical procedure and haven't finished recovering yet. You haven't gotten on such an exciting ride in your current state. Florence reaches out a hand and waves in front of me. See? You can't see anything anymore. Is that so? Vision sadly returns, but by the time it resolves into clarity, the scene before me is also completely different. Just like the illusion from before, I'm seeing that ruined amusement park again. This time, however, every detail is rendered in incredible clarity, to the point where it doesn't seem like an illusion at all. That's right. This is the place. I remember everything now. Huh. So it really is an amusement park. Are those people and the black current all hidden here?
谢谢大家，这是一场完美的演出，请期待下课里下一次的完美表现哦。
That was a really fast turnaround. Like, super fast. Dear Commander, guess who I am? Oh, this way of speaking. Don't tell me it's... Who let this junk mail pass the filters again? Wait, don't delete this so soon, Commander. This time it's really important. It's different from all the previous commissions. A shipment of goods from Monkey Security went missing alongside the personnel accompanying it. Can't they handle it by themselves? Since when do they need a bounty hunter like me to wipe their asses? I'm not interested in dirtying my hands with their affairs. You're probably about to say no, but hold on. Leaving aside the payment for the commission, I promise that finding them before Monkey Security does only has upsides for you. Oh. I have to admit, that is quite appealing. And if I'm not wrong, the shipment probably contains something of great interest to me. I've already sent the location and important files over. Oh, yes, this mission is a little special, so don't bring your dolls along. After all, we haven't seen each other in a while, so let's keep this nice and intimate, shall we? In any case, I'll definitely take responsibility and keep you safe, Commander. Plus, payment is redacted, you know. Of course, and the most important thing is the extra bonus payment, namely my What the fuck kind of scam did she get caught up in? While I know exactly who made this commission, it still looks like some sort of new scam. Unable to bear it any longer, I immediately close the email. The rest of it is probably some meaningless travail. Then, I open the attachment to see what the files the client sent. In addition to the coordinates, my destination is a photograph. Huh. So it really is an amusement park. Are those people in the black car all heading here? Russell. Russell. It's the sound of footsteps, or to be precise, the sound of 10 odd people walking together through this deserted wasteland. Clearly, they've been here for far too long. Their clothes are tattered rags, their frames are emaciated, their eyes are sunken and hollow, their rags are stained in blood, some of their wounds have scabbed over, others are oozing pus, and even one who can't walk, their wheelchair squeaking as they roll along. This so-called amusement park is nothing more than a set of long-abandoned ruins. It's only barely recognizable as having once been an amusement park. While it's hard to recognize them, there's no doubt that these sleepwalkers amidst the ruins are visitors to this amusement park. Like ghosts, they have forgotten their past and are forever trapped here. I found it at last. Dear guests, thank you for waiting. And now, our next attraction, Sweet Startling Night. Florence's infectiously enthusiastic voice spreads through the air, and these aimless wanderers look like they've received some sort of command, because they've all slowly gathered in the building behind Florence. It is a building that is neither scary nor filled with the park spirit. All it has are the scuttled walls and a metal plaque above its entrance that looks like it's going to fall off at any moment. Meanwhile, Florence is happily explaining the building while the guests are prepared to enter and eagerly play with the park's attractions. Over and over again. The ride never ends. Now then, since time is tight, let's hurry up and... I'm out. Countless vacant eyes turn to look at me, just like they did to Mia when she tried to stop the other guests from boarding the roller coaster. Meanwhile, these guests come to a halt as well. I can hear them whispering to each other. Well, there's nothing for it. You do realize that even if it's you, you'll have to be punished for interfering with the games, right, Commander? As Florence says this, she gives me a meaningful look. I believe I can understand what she's trying to tell me. Keep talking. You know, I just thought of something very interesting all of a sudden. When you're walking onto the street and seeing many people like at the sky, what would you do? Look up and see what's in the sky. Even if there's nothing there, there's a subconscious peer pressure effect generated by this collective behavior that will make you think something is there. At moments like this, adding a little tiny variable could fool your brain into thinking there actually is something in the sky, even make you believe fervently in some non-existent miracle. Well, that's quite interesting. As a medical doll, you should understand this phenomenon better than an amateur like me, right? I believe it's called collective hallucination. Hallucination? What does that mean? It means that the entire amusement park is nothing but a man-made hallucination. To others, you probably just appear like a bunch of lunatics riding a rust bucket amidst tumbled ruins. Alright, well, up until just now, I was part of these lunatics, but fortunately nobody came. So we're all seeing the same thing? Even communicating with each other without any impediment? Is that even possible? What do you think, Miss Medical Doll? Who knows? But perhaps I could do it? Have some faith in yourself. You already did. The critical variable in pulling off a collective hallucination might be anxiety and stress, or the rate of a spread achievable in a closed area. You, on the other hand, probably used something that was quicker and more convenient. Drugs. This is the poison you control. Looks like you're putting me on trial. How exciting. You should know about Eudes better than me. I just know you were familiar with that drug too, but unfortunately not even I could get that much Eudes. After all, I'm just a frail and weak medical doll, and I definitely wouldn't have been able to kidnap all these people. You probably can get Udis directly, but for something else it might be possible. If Niketa's intel is correct, Monkey Security was escorting a shipment of special cargo, codenamed Blackcurrant. They have completely different names. What even is the connection between them? Most of Blackcurrant's shipment was just ordinary canned goods, but according to the intel I received, a large portion of the cargo loads Monkey Security was transporting into the contamination zones contained a contraband drug, Udis. Monkey Security? What is that name? Blackcurrant. Transport. Due to the effect of the drugs and their hallucinations, the guests don't quite seem to understand the meaning of those words, but their unconscious responses make these terms feel familiar to them. This reaction perfectly validates my guess. And as it turns out, every single guest here besides you and me just happens to be Monkey Security transport personnel. One could say that it was them who brought a full load of Blackcurrant all the way over here to supply both the guests and Udis for you. And it was you who hijacked their truck right here and used the contraband they were transporting to engineer a collective hallucination, forcing them to go through one game after another. So the events that she was forcing them to roleplay and relive in the haunted house might have been the lead up to the truck hijack. That's strange. Why are we here? You idiot. When did you get your license? How can we handle all the... Oh, okay, I see. It's a flashback. No wonder they were so scared. After all, moving a Blackcurrant shipment of that scale was not an ordinary assignment. In addition, they were already panicking for messing up the assignment. Combined with a large dose of Udis you gave them, it's no wonder they become putty in your hands. Even if you're correct about your observations, that's nothing but a sensible-sounding supposition, Commander. Perhaps it was Monkey Security dipping into their own product after learning how valuable the shipment was, but then they ended up getting stuck here in a hell of their own making. In other words, all this was nothing more than the result of their own greed, which coincidentally happened to turn into the collective hallucination that you were talking about. That sounds like quite the miracle, don't you think? What you say makes sense too, and losing the shipment might be nothing more than wordplay to evade responsibility for their actions. But that's just how lies are. To deceive others, one must first deceive themselves. Also, the symptoms of these people don't look like those of Udis users, even if they are very close. Apart from the hallucinations and severe cognitive impairment, there are also signs of memory loss, poor awareness of time and location, visual and auditory impairment, and other major symptoms. All of these are very rare in Udis-related reports. Among all of them, you were the only one with the ability to improve on Udis. Also, you aren't beholden to Monkey Security, you possess pharmaceutical skills, and you even served as the park manager to keep hallucination. Me? Oh, Commander, you have seemed to have forgotten something. I have no reason to do all this. Florence suddenly laughs, and there's a hint of excitement in her eyes. Exasperation fills my heart. It seems she's completely lost in her role. Or rather, that's just what makes me even more certain that it's you. After all, only you would do this sort of thing, right? Orchestrating all this simply and purely because it was fun, in search of a thrill. Of course, seeking thrills is my core directive, but I'm not that bad, am I? While everything she says is designed to avoid accountability for her actions, expressions and movements are getting bolder and bolder to the point where I suspect she's trying to provoke me. It's hard to say. Florence loves excitement and thrills, but that's not the main problem right now. In order to deal with this incident, I need to start by dealing with her. All you need to know is that I and everyone here will no longer be playing this game with you. Florence glances at the blank-eyed visitors, and then she gestures grandly, and several robots move up to surround us. Is that so? What a shame. Because I can't let the game end yet. You and the others will need to keep us company for a while, Commander. Let me make things a little more exciting, Commander. Okay. Oh, is this why she was part of the supply run? Oh my god, they actually say it. I'm gonna fart at this.
收到。撕裂吧。是。还在期待什么？
了解。现在，请吩咐。为您服务。
收到。
为您服务。准备。战场清理完毕，大家都做得不错。
Sorry. I think I bumped my microphone out. Thank you for telling me, because I noticed that my microphone was not lighting up. I gave it a little jostle and it's come back. Yeah, it's back. Luckily, I didn't. I think the only time I think this was. I think that I read all this. Feels bad. Because I think I turned off my mic. Like, when I saw that hilarious caption. But I'm just gonna go over this again, just to make sure that everyone's caught up to speed. So essentially, some other mastermind is behind all this. Okay. And that she's lying to us, saying that our quote-unquote improved uterus acted as a medicine when it's actually a poison. So it seems like something is happening behind the scenes where Florence wants us to find out. I wouldn't have been able to stay with you there if that had been, right? After all, I'd have to guide the new additions around. I nod. Florence has no reason to lie about this. In that case, the only explanation is that the dead is coming back to life. Where are the people who died in the game? You've already seen them, Commander, albeit through a veil. She must be talking about that makeshift clinic where Florence was performing her surgery on me. She even blocked my line of sight back then. Are they still alive? They're mentally scarred, but otherwise fine. However, their brains often think they're still dead, even if it's a hallucination, so they won't wake up for a long time. Which means they aren't really dead, is that right? Mia, Fleur, Mesme, Morel, and Pauline. After I find them, I see all 5 of them have received treatment from Florence, and they're still recovering from the symptoms. I remember what Pauline said about people only starting to die on the rides after a certain point. Did anyone else die before this? Florence shakes her head. That narrows things down. I think I know who it is. Only one person could have done this. Oh, you're awake. What a surprise. It's treatment time again. Florence wheels up the usual paraphernalia and stands by the side of the girl's bed. Do I really not wake up that often? Oh, they finally show her face. Of course. Also, judging by your vital signs, it seems you didn't consume any udas today. Florence performs a routine examination of the girl and reads off her parameters. It must have been hard for you to resist the urge, right? As Florence prepares to administer the first of the treatments, the girl shakes her head in silence. Hard? It must be hard for you, isn't it, Florence? After all, you've been caring for me for so long, and yet my body remains like this. The less you think about that, the easier things will be for me. I can heal your body. In fact, I've cured a lot of exotic illnesses in the past. But there are exceptions to everything, aren't there? Rather than waste your time on someone beyond help like me, why not use your efforts on something else? You do realize I'm not doing this for free, right? I'm hardly a philanthropist. Are you talking about how I repaired your frame? Oh, she's blushing. Well, aren't you a grateful doll? I did it because it was convenient and it fell within my field of specialty. You've been helping to care for my frame all this time, right? Then I might as well help you care for your body too. And besides, I'm curious about diseases and symptoms I haven't seen before. And so this human and doll who would normally have nothing to do with each other ended up coexisting briefly due to their specialties both lining up. Huh, yeah, that's true. After Florence checks her syringe, she pumps the plunger to get the air bubbles out, flicks it to remove any stray droplets, and drives the sharp needle into the girl's skin. Florence, would you like to go with me? To an amusement park, I mean. This is the first time she'd asked Florence this question that catches her off guard. Florence ponders what it could mean, whether for good or for ill. The girl grabs Florence's hand mid-injection. You know I love amusement parks. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. You know them better than I do. I can't live without you. Once you make a full recovery, I'll take you to one. You're lying. You're lying to me, aren't you? But it's alright. Even if you're always lying to me, I'll always welcome you to my park. Wow, that expression kind of scares me. I'm not gonna lie. Florence, I'll be bringing you to my amusement park soon. Something's wrong. A strange feeling suddenly rises up from the depths of Florence's neural cloud and spreads through the rest of her body. This should be an ordinary conversation, but in that instant, Florence finds she's frozen solid. No. She's not frozen, rather, she can't move. It's as though Florence is broken down. And no matter how hard she tries, the hand of hers is frozen halfway through, depressing the plunger of her syringe. And it won't just be you. Many more people will come to my amusement park. Don't worry, I'll play with all of you. Your amusement park. It isn't just her fingers either. It is then that Florence realizes that every single part of her has been forced to a halt. She can't even speak normally. That's right, my amusement park. Okay, here we go. What have you done to me? The girl ignores Florence's choppy speech and her pretty face twists up. I guarantee that this will be the most interesting and exciting amusement park in the world. Let's enjoy it together, shall we? Even though she's never actually been to an amusement park before, her delusions drive her to utter such crazy things. I guarantee you'll be satisfied with your experience. After all, we're the same, you and I. Isn't that right, Florence? With her visual module shut down, Florence's eyes have become glassy and dull, like she's shut down. Oh my, pardon me. You may speak, I permit it. In contrast to her haughty tone, the girl struggles to bring out her computer from beside her. After plugging it into Florence's access ports, she begins entering commands. What did you do? Slowly, Florence resumes normal functioning. There are backdoors to everything, don't you know? Did you like the malicious code I wrote just for you? All your permissions and access now belong to me. Honestly, did you not even suspect me for a moment, even after I helped maintain you for so long? Or are you saying you're looking forward to what I'm about to do? The girl gently pats Florence's cheek. Now then, the first thing you're going to do for me is improve Eunice. That should be easy given your skills. Now, what should we call this new drug? How about euphoria? And then we can have a good long discussion about one of my favorite things, collective hallucinations. There will be a shipment of product coming through here soon. This is our only chance. If you insist on carrying out such a bold plan, I can't guarantee success. You do realize that telling me the odds of failure only excites me more, right? And besides, it's not like you refuse my commands either, can you? Of course, I don't mind you spicing up your obedience though with a little back talk. However, saying that isn't like you, is it? Do you really think things will go well for you if I die? Bang! The girl mimes an explosion, but Florence is unmoved and unafraid. Are you interested in these people or their shipment? I wonder. The girl's fingers run over the surface of her portable terminal, and she can't help humming to herself as she sees those familiar faces. Both, perhaps. I know everyone on this transport run. They're perfect as playmates. Oh, how exciting. The trap is set, and the targets will be stopping at the ramp. We have a 90-second window to act, Florence. I'll bait the enemy, so begin the operation. What the fuck? Oh, look at that.
选我吧。
Interact with the designated point and destroy everything. Look at that. We can actually play as Florence. Okay, so let me read her kit. Hold on. Okay, so heals in here. Cleanses, taunt, fear, infatuated, and applies stimulant. Consumes HP equal to 20% if hold of photos before 30%. Oh, okay, so I can have like high risk. Okay. Okay. Masochistic hallucination. Okay. Interesting.
问题已解决。是。准备。请吩咐。
What attachment on her gun? Let me see.
还要忍下去吗？
Oh, ally support. Ew. I thought we were over this. He just fucking died. That's so funny.
还要忍下去吗？ 是特制的药剂，要注意用量哦。
是。
I'm a fan of her Chinese right now. Holy shit.
是。
It's hitting that like tone that I gave her for my narrations. I'm kind of happy with what I'm doing.
还要忍下去吗？
请下令。准备。
Can I move? There we go. Interesting. She would rather give Deef than that. I think it's just a mash of like making sure that the character doesn't fucking die. There's no way in hell that ally support is actually what she uses. By the way, it's a typo. It's ally support, not LA support. I don't know why they haven't fixed it yet. Not exciting enough. It was close, but we did it in the end, Florence. And now everything is ready. The new drug, the park, and the first batch of guests. With these, Thriller Wonderland opens its doors.
谢谢大家，这是一场完美的演出，请期待下课里下一次的完美表现哦。
We pass a rust model roller coaster. The seats are shaky and look like they can fall off at any moment. It seems like it's been abandoned for a long time. Sights like these are nothing unusual in the yellow zone. I look down and decide to start dealing with the girl in front of me. Is something wrong? The wind blows, causing the glass ivy bottles above her to collide gently like wind chimes. A look of panic crosses the face of the girl in the wheelchair, like she's been startled. The mysterious devices on her begin beeping alerts in response to her emotional fluctuations. Oh, come on, I'm not that scary, am I? At the very least, I'm practically a saint compared to what you've done here. What's that supposed to mean? What you said just now. What's that supposed to mean? So, this is all hallucination, but I can still see the amusement park. I mean, I meant exactly what I said. You were the one who trapped all these people in an abandoned amusement park, right, Esme? Esme? She tilts her head. Apparently, she doesn't remember that name. Apart from the others who noticed something was amiss, most people wouldn't even remember having ridden the attractions multiple times. In that respect, there was nothing wrong at all with their response. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. If we don't continue, everyone will. What happens if we go on? That's not going to happen, because I've caught the owner of the amusement park. Caught? Who? I approach Esme, then grab the handles of her wheelchair and gently push her. Hey, where are we going? Miss Manager. She calls for Florence, who follows us without hesitation. The owner of the amusement park is Esme, which is to say, you. Am I correct? I don't know what you're talking about. Then let's start with what makes you suspicious, shall we? Among the 5 dead people, you were the last to enter the park. Esme, how many times have we gone on this ride now? This would be our first time here, right? What are you talking about? We only just came here. The frightened woman grows more afraid than that. Her grip tightens unconsciously, causing Esme to groan in pain as she starts to have trouble breathing. Morel, you knew Fleur's name as well, right? It's just the name. It doesn't mean anything. But that's just because she said my name first, so I asked her name. She said the same thing as Mia, but she didn't go crazy like Mia. Don't worry too much. I've been on this roller coaster about a dozen times, and I'm still sitting here perfectly fine. A dozen times? Everyone's been on the rides more than twice, but this was only your second time. That definitely happened to Miss Esme. In other words, not long after you joined, all of the people who were starting to recover began dying on the rides, one after another. Like Pauline said, the slaughter wasn't a risk that came prepared with a reward. Quite the opposite, in fact. It was a form of cruel revenge. You couldn't bear to see everyone recovering, or anyone recovering, so you decided to join the game in person and kill everyone that Florence managed to cure. But the others were suspicious too, right? Of course, but if it was them, or if it was you, you probably would have made your move sooner. Huh? But Miss Esme died too, and she was killed by Miss Morel. Yes, because she was the real ghost in the haunted house. She should have never been on the Mongi truck. Yet she was there, and she made the poor guests relive the events of the day that they were kidnapped over and over again. What does that mean? Morel and Pauline both thought that she shouldn't have been there. Why do you think that is? There are too many reasons for that. Because she's not from Mongi security? Maybe. That's not very likely. After the others regained the memory, every one of them began suspecting me, but none of them suspected Esme. The main reason why they suspected me was because we had no shared memories to prove my identity. That implies that Esme was present in their memories, which means she was definitely a Mongi security employee. However, she was not part of the transport detail. Why is that? Don't forget that during an emergency, having more people than you know around to help is a good thing. But Morel utterly loathed her to the point of saying how much she hated her. Now, this is just a guess, but I'm thinking that part of it was because Esme was not part of the transport team, so she couldn't help them out. The other part, which really set her off, might have been because Esme was a serial Judas thief. This isn't just a guess, it's all an all-out fabrication, isn't it? She laughs in her mocking tone, and the mask she was wearing begins to crack. A fabrication? It's true that Esme wasn't part of the transport detail, but she had another job. A doll engineer. Esme glances at Florence in a panic and looks incredulously at herself. As a Mongi security doll engineer, she wouldn't need to accompany the transport detail. Even so, saying she's a thief is a bit too much. Well, maybe a doll engineer couldn't help them out. Maybe that was why Morel hated her. Her? You're still not gonna admit that you're Esme? Well, at the very least, it seems you've realized that Esme was the mastermind behind all this, though. I continue pushing her wheelchair to one of the most common sights in the wasteland, a cliff. Next, I'm going to explain why you're the only one who can beat Esme. I release my grip on the handles, causing Esme's wheelchair to roll straight forward. She exclaims in surprise, but no matter what she does, she can't control her body well. Meanwhile, the edge of the cliff is drawing closer and closer. While mobility aids like this are not hard to operate, there are many better options for moving around than this. Her body might be so weak that I can't utilize more agile methods like prosthetic limbs. Wait, Miss Florence! Her voice turns a little hoarse from her screaming, and I reach out just in time to bring the wheelchair under control. By the time she comes to a halt, she is less than half a meter from the edge. Her face is flushed red in panic, and her forehead is covered in beads of sweat. Oh, Commander, you're even more extreme than I am. From what I can see, after discounting the guests from the hallucination, the only one who couldn't have taken part in the transport mission is you. Seriously, just because of that? It's true that Esme could have been anyone, but your body meant that you couldn't have been anyone but Esme. Esme looks like she's about to cry, but there's a hint of a smile on her face. Sorry, but after hearing what you just said, I realized it too. It really seems I am Esme. However, I forgot everything that happened in the park, like you said. Perhaps my brain damage got worse after her dying and coming back. Her face is innocent with a friendly smile on it. Even if you were right about everything, that I'm Esme, that I'm severely crippled, that I'm a Mongi security doll engineer, so what? You could also say that all the killing that occurred after I joined was entirely caused by Florence in order to frame me. That way, she could just dump all the blame for her crimes committed in a search of thrills at my feet while continuing to rub against you. So are you saying that she treated me, but could only cover it up with lies, never able to tell the truth? That all was an act? I look at Florence. Strangely enough, she doesn't say anything. I mean, it's not impossible. I have an idea why that's more likely. Would you like to hear it? There's a reason why Florence could only treat them in secret and only could remain silent even when you get cast doubt on her. Did I ask for your opinion? Then get up and stop me if you can. I ignore her and continue speaking. Damn! The commander literally told a cripple to stand up for herself. Damn, bro. Actual for the jugular. My guess is that someone was controlling her, perhaps even in possession of her authorization, which meant that for the most part, she had to obey orders. And so she obeyed her orders and managed this hallucinatory amusement park. Even if she wanted to treat these people, she could only do it secretly. Surely you're not going to say that I did it because I'm a doll engineer, are you? No one else can do it. Am I wrong? I advise you not to keep denying it. Everything will be clear when we check Florence's ownership data, and even if you try encrypting it, our engineer skills are far superior to yours. But that just means you can't check it out now. No. Looks like you know that no other doll engineers here besides you. And the reason for that is because everyone here besides you was kidnapped from the transport detail, and that's why they were so shocked when they saw you. And besides, did I ever tell you her name was Florence before you called her name? What? Everyone else besides you called her manager. Logically speaking, how could you have known her name if you really lost your memories like the others? How could you have known to call her Florence? I knew it. All sorts of interesting things do happen at amusement parks. She has a leg to stand on? Dude. Crazy work. And here I was, getting tired of watching this lot scream. Fortunately, you showed up. So, do you want to say it, or should I do the honors? What is there to say? Yes, I kidnapped Florence, made her modify units for me, and then I kidnapped those old friends of mine who all deserved it, mind you, and had them play with me instead of smuggling contraband. Pretty fun, all things considered. So they deserve to die? What about yourself? I never said I didn't deserve it. We could have all gone together. And I think you and I could be super best friends. Your approval fills me with shame. Still, there's still one thing I don't understand. How did you do all this? After all, given her current state, it's hard to imagine how she could trap so many people here. Oh, I know I'm weak, but nobody thought I could do anything outrageous. So nobody suspected me when their routes were changed, their cargo was swamped, their trucks were attacked, and when I showed up in front of them, they all thought they could deal with me easily, just as you're thinking now. Thing is, people's perceptions of reality can vary, just like hallucination. I still have many ways to fight. Would you like to experience them? Oh shit. Am I fighting a cripple? Is this her? Is this her?
哎，
收到。
自猎吧。
Bam!
是。
She's losing it. Despite being down for the count, Esme seems more ecstatic than before. She laughs maniacally, like she's seen something funny. Any more tricks you like to pull out of your sleeve? I changed my mind. Why don't you stay behind and keep playing with me? If you do that, I guarantee that these people make it back to a healthy, insane state. How about that? You have no grounds to be talking terms with me. I'll be taking everyone with me when I go, including Florence and you. Oh, you're going to punish me. How exciting. Speaking of Florence, I'd like to ask about something. How did you come to your senses? There are backdoors to everything. You ought to know that better than me. Florence has always been trustworthy.
任务结束，一起回去吧。
But what did she do? Esme's body was already frail, but after being defeated in battle, she's a complete mess. She looks exceptionally pathetic as she asked that question. Didn't Florence tell you? In order to continue topping off the Udis doses, she asked you to give her a clinic where she could improve the formula and put the guests who were being punished. You talk like you were actually there. Well, simple management is boring. Much more than my time in Griffin. You should be able to relate, Esme. And so, things unfolded like Pauline said. Florence used the reward time and as an opportunity to try and treat the hallucinating guests. Pauline, Mia, and Morel all received treatment to various extents. That's why they learned the truth to different extents and recalled their past, to the point where they began to sense something was amiss. And you approached them because you realized this, Commander? Unfortunately, Pauline didn't trust Florence even until the very end. The others also broke down to different degrees, and some were even discovered by you, who knew everything. That's why you took action and began cutting them off, right? Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I ran into a tough cookie like you. Esme smiles and nods without reserve, her mask completely off now. Florence was the one who asked me for help, but to be precise, I came here to help her. Only a patient as cooperative as the commander, possessing great willpower and willingness to work with their physician, could complete a full course of treatment. So, how does it feel to be healed? Thanks to a few special ingredients, not only should you be feeling alert and full of energy, other parts of you should also be so full of energy that you can't stand it. I'm a bit of a loss for words how to respond to Florence, so I turned away and continued speaking to Esme. But yes, Florence did help me get better. Well done, Florence. To think that you dare do something like this on my watch. Never a pharmacist, her own lab. Never give a pharmacist her own lab. Still, this ought to count as a surprise, right? And besides, you were having fun playing cat and mouse, too. That clinic was where Florence adjusted and stored the modified drug. But if I'm not wrong, I only gave her permission to inject the modified Udis, right? I mean, the commander already left her mark on my body and soul. Florence walks over and sidles up to me, not so subtly hinting at something. Give a proper explanation. I'm referring to a forced execution command the commander gave me. Well, it was meant for more amusing diversions. That command can bypass all authorizations and directly cease frame control permissions. While it only works for a while, it's enough if you just want to give someone an injection. Think of it as something like a safe word. After all, the commander's always so eager and forceful, to the point where my body has trouble keeping up. Hey, don't say things like that, people might misinterpret. Oh, don't be shy, Commander. Esme won't get it. You're just making things worse. I've heard enough. Everything is clear now. In short, you betrayed me. Didn't you, Florence? Betray? That's not the word you should be using when it comes to me, is it? You should have known this from the moment you hijacked control of my body. Isn't an outcome like this exactly what you wanted? I wasn't part of the hallucination, and frankly speaking, I was getting sick of watching you all freak out. Are you not entertained? You should be creaming yourself right about now. Yes, I am. But it would be terribly unfair to hoard all the fun to myself. With the last of her strength, Esme bangs on a console beside her. Stop! I draw my gun. And fire 3 shots in rapid succession at the device, but it seems she didn't enter a command, only pushed a button before slumping into a wheelchair that looks like she's given up on everything. She doesn't even react when bullets punch through the console and shower her in sparks. Beside me, Florence is clearly on the verge of blue screening. Her various modules are in various stages of shutdown. Her eyes are unfocused and she can't speak. It's a neural cloud delete command. If I'm not wrong, she hasn't backed up in a long time. Are you fucking insane? There's no stopping it. After all, you just shot up the one thing that could influence a neural cloud. Now even I can't stop it. Why don't you kill me? Kill a shitty human being like me for the sake of a robot. Or no, even if you don't do anything, I might die soon enough anyway. Isn't that right? First off, you can shut up now. I'm not interested in listening to the confessions of a defeated and whatever tragic backstory you have that you're using an excuse to commit crimes. Secondly, I'm not interested in judging anyone, so I'm not going to do anything for you for the time being. And finally, you've piled up so many fucking sins that destroying a single doll is a drop in the bucket for you, so don't try to draw false equivalencies here. That said, I'll make sure you get what you deserve. I guarantee it. Oh, don't worry. Doesn't she have that, what do you call it, that safe word? Do your best, Florence. Show me just how just show me how you'll protect your neural cloud now. Looks like I'll have to put in a little effort to return to the commander's side. You will make sure I'll properly be compensated for this, right, Commander? Aw, I don't get to use her? Feels bad, man. That's a little upsetting. I wanted to use her, like what I did with that one. Well, I mean, what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna speedrun this because I'm really fucking tired. But this has been a fun event. I have enjoyed this quite a lot.
开整，交给我吧。怕了吗？
Do this now.
打不着。2、3，不许动。
Oh, this is where the music comes from.
让开，看我的！
正常水平罢了。这书还来得及。目标沉默。正常水平罢了。这书还来得及。正常水平罢了。来了，收到。撕裂吧。是。
There we go. Or eep. Florence yelps and collapses on me. As I try to catch her, her added weight makes me lose my balance and I end up meeting the ground as well. Florence. I look at Florence, trying to see if she's back to normal. No, what's this, Commander? Were you worried about me? Florence studies me briefly, then smiles smugly before turning to grind herself harder on me. You managed to help her? She saved herself for the most part. Esme's body is at the end of its tether, and her voice is barely above a whisper. It is a reminder that not everything is over, even if Florence is back to normal. If you're fine, you can get off me now. Her response makes me certain that she's fine. Together, we help Esme up as we wait for the Elmo to arrive. So what do you plan to do now? Well, as a medical doll, what else can I do? Florence's thoughts are the same as mine. No matter what the people here did, we have no intention of passing judgment on them. Once they're treated, we have nothing further to do with each other. However, these contraband drugs, however their little left is of them, are taken by Florence as research samples. Don't you feel happy to have survived such a big incident? I don't know if I can consider this a success. I feel more worried than happy. I suppose it was quite an exciting experience for us, so it would have killed you to enjoy a little more. And besides, it would have been fine, even if I had really been destroyed. After all, sacrificing themselves for humanity is a doll's purpose. Florence stands up and heads back to the clinic. That said, I'm gonna kill these people first. I suddenly recall everything Florence did and said during the reward time segment earlier. Your treatment method seems a little questionable. What are you thinking, Commander? All that was special service for you. So all that necessary shit was just your sick fetish? That's such a hilarious line. Still, perhaps it was all hallucination, and all Florence did was just a simple injection. Commander, are you saying that I was so seductive and charming in hallucination that you finally fell for me? Even if that was the case, it was just an illusion. Well, we can't truly perceive the real world. All we know is what our senses tell us. That being the case, there's no harm in treating our dreams as reality now. After all, in the end, the only thing we have are our memories. Saying so, Florence suddenly presses up against me and takes my hand before dragging me into the clinic with her. So, let's start by finishing the treatment. Will that include Esme? Her treatment won't be so pleasant. Oh, yes. Florence looks up at me with that familiar foxy smile on her face. Still, if you miss reward time so badly, then when we get back to the Elmo, I can let you experience the true meaning of special service. I promise that I'll feel much, much better than this. And you can experience it if you give me a lab of my own. You will. Won't you?
都说了，我可是能以一敌百的精英人形啊！
Oh, I finally got the 2 tickets I was looking at. I'm looking forward to putting up Florence and all the summer team with Springfield, Nikita, and Doris' Papasha. Surely doable. Is your Papasha a C6? Or a V6? I was able to get my Papasha to V6 just the other week. It's pretty sick.
收到。撕裂吧！是。还在期待什么？有你好果子吃，下去吧你！ 还是油锅，正常水平罢了。
打不着。
训练有一定成效了。
Damn. Okay.
遭沉没。
The interception.
庆功宴，整点啥好呢？
Alright, here we go. Last of the last.
打不着。2、3，不许动。就这些。
正常水平罢了。这输还来得及。正常水平罢了。 这输还来得及，正常水平罢了。来了。
Your Papa shows V4C4? You're carrying your level 6 platoon as number 2? Damn! You know what? Let me check my platoon right after I finish this.
收到。
I think I'm about to be on the same time.
收到。撕裂吧。是。来了。有你好果子吃。来了。
Oh, you did.
我来开路。
刀已经磨好了，下去吧你。
There we go.
将
Last of
404
these
作为
supply
对手。
runs.
是你们。
Let me check my platoon real quick before I get out, because it is almost 6 a.m. Calling it a souvenir shop is so fucking fun. Alright. My platoon at the moment is level 7. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, my Papa is done. I don't need more of her. I bought my Subaru like way long ago. To be fair though, I did start playing like I played on release day. And I haven't missed like I haven't missed a month, couple days, because this game respects my time. So I kind of play this game more than my other gachas that I have like invested into. 9 a.m. New York. Jesus Christ, dude, you stayed up hella fucking early for this stream. Thank you. I do like Florence a lot, but I don't really see her fitting onto my teams. But because out of respect for her character, I will pull it for her a couple times. Let's see what happens. Oh, I got the pistol away. Alright, that's it. No more. That is it. Feels bad, but it is. Alright. Alright, well, thank you for bearing with my narration. I don't know if you I don't know if you are in the I don't know, are you in hold on. Are you in Kansai's fucking Discord, or did you just find this stream? I have no fucking clue. You don't have to answer that, it's fine. Don't dox yourself if you don't want to. But you're up at 4 a.m, so game change is 5 a.m to me. Alright, well, I mean, I'm glad you maybe enjoyed yourself, who knows. But I need to go to bed. It is 5:47 a.m. You're on my YouTube feed? What the fuck? Alright, well. I genuinely thought it was someone in Kansai's thing because like there was a fluctuation of viewers throughout the thing. I noticed like 2, 3, 6, 7, and then back down like 3 or 2. But I mean, I'm glad that you stuck around. Appreciate it. I usually do these as like because specifically for Girls Frontline, since I'm like, I don't like having nothing attached to the voices if it's unvoiced, right? Because they have to release it later. So I usually do these as like a docu-stream where like I play games where anyone can tune in, but I kind of keep stuff that I find interesting on my own channel. I don't care. I don't really mind if people tune in or not, but I usually have something to go back and refer to or something like that, or just have a nice fun little thing, because having just a documented playthrough of something is kind of cool on my channel. It's why I also have like 36 terabytes worth of space on my PC. 18 terabyte hard drive has like recordings of games, clips, highlights, and just like Discord calls and everything. So anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a good Friday. Today is Friday, right? It's not Saturday. Yeah. And hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And good luck on your polls, my friend. It was good. Nice to meet you too. I hope I was cooked to your liking.